Perfect. Thank you, Rhea. Thank you, Josh. And as they said, I'm Mink, and I'm co-casted today by Carix. Welcome to the stream, Carix. Glad to have
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. I haven't done the collegiate NA stuff.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy. Obviously, yeah, you are from Australia, so it's also really early for you. So welcome to NA. This is going to be some NA League of Legends for you.
I think I owe a certain Rebel Fox out there who's been getting up at 2 a.m. to do VCS for 2 years. I think I owe him an NA wake-up time.
Mm-hmm. But I think we're just gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a pre-game analysis. Going into the game. What do we expect? What bans you think are gonna happen? What picks might be happening? Obviously, it is UoNA Dragons versus ODU, Old Dominion University. UoNA, they're 4-1. ODU, they're 5-0. So it's gonna be a really tough match in general. I'm super excited to see what is actually going to happen. But yeah, I mean, do you think there's really anything that might stand out during this game? And obviously, yeah, here we go. We're going into draft now.
Directly into draft, and I'm immediately saying that this is not what I expected.
Yeah, I was.
This is off meta. This is something that I do observe happening a lot at sort of, I say lower level, but I just mean below professional, right? They're not in the LCS. It's target banning. You just ban out comfort, and it's the best way to go. So we see this Azir being removed. Riverside, it has a really high win rate on that. Viego is just generally a pub stompy champion. The fact that they've just immediately first picked the Ziggs is awesome. Ziggs is a champion. Some people hate him. I personally love him. I love the bot lane Ziggs. I love the mid lane Ziggs even more if he's bold enough to play it, because it has a lot of picks that it just dies against. Over on the other side, the Lucian Nautilus, I think, is really interesting because it's not typically what you see. Lucian is really strong back in the bot lane. Lucian Nami has been popping up again. The fact that the Nautilus is picked, though, tells me solo lane Lucian. We'll have to see if they do. Mm-hmm. But this draft doesn't slow down because they've just immediately gone back with an Ezreal and a Bard, which means it is mid lane Ziggs. And that bot lane is wild.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting bot lane. I mean, obviously, Xavier is known for his Bard. He is the Bard master over here in NA. I don't expect him. Obviously, the Ezreal is picked. Ezreal can kind of solo lane for a little bit. He can just build up, get his items, and then he can, take over the game. And so I expect, Xavier to start roaming around level 3. He's going to start putting a lot of pressure on the map, just like you kind of expect this Nautilus to do. And then the Nocturne also being picked up here. Don't know what's going to happen there, but
in general, the Nocturne, I really like it. I think a lot of people sleep on Nocturne. Just the raw power that paranoia brings, I feel like it's really underrated, particularly in organized play. I think Nocturne is one of those champions that is even stronger in organized play than, say, solo queue, because in solo queue, you don't have communication anyway. So turning out the lights doesn't do anything. Turning out the lights in organized play where you have the communication is disastrous at times. If you look at LCK today, it was picked by T1 and used to great effect. Vance coming in again, Shen and Volibear being taken out. Volibear is just a ridiculously strong jungler at the moment. Shen, again, I assume that's a bit of a target ban. It's a little bit weird in my book, though. He is a solo queue stomper. Syndra and Fiora, that's just, don't want to play against them.
Yeah, that exactly is it. And I do think the Shen and Volibear are both target bans. GG has been popping off in the top lane with that Volibear. He's been kind of, making his name known there on that Volibear in the past few games. So obviously I think those are target bans. And the Kai'Sa is also being picked now. So you think, is that a Lucian mid, or do you think that's a Kai'Sa mid? Because Kai'Sa mid has also been popping up with the AP build.
So this is an interesting draft thing, because I think if the Nautilus wasn't shown, it would be a lot less obvious. I don't think Lucian Nautilus is very good bot lane. It's very aggressive, it does a lot of damage, but Lucian doesn't have a passive in that lane. So I think that's Kai'Sa bot, but we don't know. Shyvana being picked, I don't know if there's any VCS English guys in the chat, because I know you said you were going to come watch, but oh boy, we have a Shyvana. That is a VCS special. I love that this is being picked up. I've cast so much Shyvana. She's one of my favorite champions. A Scion as well. I mean, I am loving this blue side draft so much. UoNA, you might have already picked up a new fan.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the thing I also like about UoNA's drafts is that they never really draft the same thing twice. This is a completely new comp that I have personally never seen them run before, and they usually never pick the same champions every draft. They always like to change it up a little bit. So this is completely new to me, and I'm excited to see how they're actually going to run it. And it does look like that is going to be a Kai'Sa Nautilus bot lane. With the Lucian mid in the mid lane. I don't really know how the Shyvana Nocturne matchup is going to go. It depends. You know, the Shyvana, she can build AP or the AD. I know the AD build is kind of more meta right now. She has a lot of sustain, a little bit tankier. But, you know, that AP also might be able to do a lot of damage to some of these squishies, you know, the Kai'Sa and the Lucian. So, really interested to see how they're actually going to play this.
Yeah, it is really interesting. This AD Shyvana, it's not actually something I've seen a lot of. I've almost exclusively seen the AP Shyvana. I know, as you said, the AD is a lot more meta at the moment because AP Shyvana is a cheese pick of the highest order. Yep. In terms of how the matchup plays out, they are not going to touch each other until level 6. They're just going to power farm the jungle. They don't need to do anything. If you look at the top lane, it's Mordekaiser versus Sion. They're happy just to farm it out. You don't really want to go up there to gank. Lucian should be... I mean, you could go mid if you're a Usurper, because your Lucian should be pressuring Ziggs all day. He should be going for one-shotting on that Ziggs. Mm-hmm. And then the bot lane, it's an Ezreal. You can't gank that lane. What are you going to do? He's just going to eat away. Like, have fun, man.
Yeah.
Do your best. But overall, I think these junglers are going to farm. The point in the game I'm really looking for is 8 minutes, Rift Herald time. At that point, observers, lock on to that Herald because I can see a huge fight.
Oh, yeah, I could definitely see a huge fight as well. You know, you're going to have the Sion ult, the Mordekaiser ult. You know, by this time, also the Bard Nautilus. They should also be roaming up that direction. So I do expect a huge fight there. And, yeah, it's going to be very interesting how they're actually going to be playing all this out. And I do kind of like your Lucian versus Ziggs kind of theory. You know, you think the Lucian's going to be poking him out all game. But then again, you know, the Ziggs also has a very low CD timer on all of his abilities. He's able to, you know, probably dish back just as much damage as Lucian's given him. So I think that's going to be more of a skill matchup versus a, you know, champion diff. So especially it's River. You know, River is a really good mid laner. I've never really seen him play Ziggs though. So it's going to be interesting how he's going to, you know, go about that. But I think it's going to be more of a skill matchup there in the mid lane. But I do, you know, you can't gank the Ezreal. And the Kai'Sa Nautilus, deadly combo, especially if he lands that hook. Bard not really going to be able to. Yeah, if you get hooked,
if Bard gets hooked, it's done.
Yeah. Well, you know, we never know. So I think we just might want to go to a quick intermission here. Or do we have any final words or anything like that?
I think the plan was to keep just powering on through, and we can keep doing. I got plenty.
All right,
to talk
sounds
about.
good.
Don't you worry. I can go like a motorboat.
Let's do it.
There's a lot to talk about here because I think one issue that they could potentially run into is damage split. Mordekaiser is your only magic damage threat on this comp. Unless you go the AP Kai'Sa, it's weird to go AP Kai'Sa in bot lane. I haven't seen a huge amount of that. Mm-hmm. Maybe Kegamos does it. I don't know. I'm sus on the AP Kai'Sa from bot lane, but we'll see. Mordekaiser being your only AP, you could start to run into issues getting through the Sion. But it's only the Sion at least, right?
True.
Nocturne can go past him. Kai'Sa can potentially go past him. Lucian can work around him. So maybe they don't run into a huge issue, but it's something to keep an eye on. On the other side, if this is AP Shyvana, this is a brutal poke comp. In fact, I don't think poke works. Like, it's not a little poke with a finger. It is a rocket-operated fist.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be crazy on how much poke they actually have. Like I said, the Ziggs, the Ezreal has a low CD on his Q, especially, you know, when he starts getting items. You know, the global ult, everything like that. It's going to be crazy on how much poke they have. They do not want to engage the fight, I guess. So this actually could be the AP Shyvana because they don't really have like an all-in comp outside of the Sion. You know, they kind of want to just kite around and, you know, keep throwing abilities downfield. So like I said, I mean, all we can do is wait at this point, like, you know, at this moment, you know, just see what they do, and hopefully we'll get this going.
Yeah, hopefully we do get into game soon. We are on the Sephiroth chat. Apparently, it's to borrow the LCK term, it's toilet issues. Someone just did have to go to the bathroom, but hey, fair enough.
It happens.
You gotta get that done. We got a best of 5 ahead of us. Hopefully, we go all
Oh, yeah.
5 games.
Oh, yeah. It
So,
is a best of 5. I forgot to mention that. It is a best
Yep.
of 5, and the winner of this actually gets into the top 32 of the CLOL bracket or whatever, the CLOL tournament, and also get a few $100 in their pocket. So
yeah, for sure. They do well. As hopefully this freeze.
yeah, I don't know
Sometimes
what's
it does it
happening
after
here.
a
Yeah,
pause.
there we go.
It's
Oh
spectator
yeah,
client.
yeah, it happens.
It does its best. But we do just see the 5-point defense being set up for both teams here.
Mm-hmm.
All good at the moment. I'm not expecting any super early shenanigans.
They could do something with the Nautilus Kaisa, but overall, I think it's just gonna be just the 5-man point. They're gonna respect each other's boundaries, and just full clear. Like you said, they're gonna farm to level 6. Hopefully, in theory, anyway, they should farm to level 6.
It should, but
You never know. You never know.
Yeah, if my experience of League of Legends tells me anything, what they should do and what they do are often very different things.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if we can get the scoreboard up as well, my good observers, I just want to have a sticky bake at some early items. The fact that Shyvana has pressed the attack tells me that it's going to be the AD Shyvana, the tanky Shyvana. That doesn't make sense on me.
Along with the Ghost as well. She's going to try to get into those middle of the team fights as fast as possible. So
yeah, there we go.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
It's all looking very standard here. Mid lane Ziggs as well is something I want to keep an eye on. As you were saying, River is a really sick mid laner, so maybe he can sort of try and fire back against Illusion. I do feel like there is an element of I could play the Lucian and still probably win until level 3, and I am not good.
I understand. And as you see right here, he does get the level 2 first, and what's happening?
We have lost the feed.
Yeah, there we go. All right, we are back. Sorry about that, but obviously Lucian did get level 2 first and got some easy poke off onto the Ziggs early on. Already up 5 CS though in the mid lane. Not starting the game off strong,
early level 2.
Yeah, the early level 2 kind of set him back a little bit.
That did, but I mean, look, Ziggs should be able to just catch the waves forever. I don't think he can ever get priority, but he can always just sit back, throw bombs, throw out the minefield, cycle through his spells, and be happy enough.
Oh yeah.
Even if he's not going to be super strong. Okay.
Yeah.
It's all right. We'll power through. It's all right. Down on the bottom side, again, Kai'Sa, this is what Kai'Sa does. She walks up to the wave, presses Q,
and then backs away.
And she pushes in.
Yep. And Sion getting a nice little stun there from the bush. But obviously, nothing's going to happen. He's just trying to catch the wave at this point. Hey, he actually gets a nice little freeze off, actually. Wonder how long he's going to be able to hold that for.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know how long that'll last, if a jungler will visit up there just to kind of help out. So far, it is just nice and quiet.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what we expected, especially in the top lane. It's just 2 tanks trying to battle it out. I don't think really any of them can solo kill them yet, or kill each other yet. Yeah.
Horrific mistakes.
Yeah, it would take, a huge overextend or a gank from a jungler in order for either of them to fall this early into the game. But it looks like Mordekaiser is actually kind of beating down on him, though.
Yeah, Mord will win this lane early. He'll always be able to shove in. Sion can't answer it. But as you said, he can't kill him.
Yeah.
Unless Shrek really messes up. He'll never have to but he doesn't care.
Exactly. But once Mordekaiser probably gets that Rift Maker, though, might be a different story, though. That true damage being added on top of it.
Yeah, no question. Once Mythics start coming in, the dynamic shifts. But for now, we will be okay. As I said, I think is going to be a pretty early, a quiet early game is what I meant to say. Teleport being used there by Shrek just to head up back to the top lane. 4 minutes in. Pretty standard stuff here, honestly. He'll be fine. Again, he'll be a little bit CS down. Doesn't matter. The junglers are mirroring each other's clears. They're mirroring each other's builds at the moment as well. Almost identical. But yeah, neither of them want a gank.
They all just want to, power farm till 6. Drake is spawning. Shyvana is going to be rotating that direction. So honestly, I'm just kind of seeing if this level or this bot lane is able to roam up, and Nautilus is going to have to hook out of there before he gets spotted by Bard.
Yeah, I would like to see if they can get this shove in here, Tree and Zav, which I think they should be able to. Obviously, Nautilus had to rotate around. This should set them up to try and get vision over Dragon. I don't think they can be bold enough to start it.
It looks like they're going to be trying to recall.
Yeah.
There's going to go ahead and recall. Shyvana is going to take, her Krugs, and then it looks like they're just going to take Drake another day.
Yeah, I mean, Shyvana really wants to get these Drakes, obviously. And, Usurp has come up to the top side. Shrek in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah,
he's okay.
Gets taken down about half HP, but he lives once again. He survives a little bit longer. Able to farm up, and... Ooh, Mordekaiser grab. Does not connect.
Yeah,
at least Nocturne showed topside, though. Nocturne did
Exactly.
And it looks like Shyvana is going to be trying to take this Drake right now anyway. Just see her down there on the mini-map. Bard and Treestar are both rotating that way as well. And Kaisa and Nautilus are all the way back at base. So there's going to be pretty uncontested at this point. This could be an uncontested Drake for UoNA.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. All right. Looks like Harvix went out. Apologies, guys. I don't know. Yeah, he is gone. Yeah, so Carvix is actually gone now. I think he DC'd by accident. I don't know what happened over there in the Australian world, but the hook actually does not land onto Xavier. Luckily, though, decides to hit a minion instead.
Probably affect the mid lane just in terms of pressure.
There he is. And it looks like actually he's going to be caught out here, but obviously he's going to be able to hook away. The stun does not land. And that is the end of that little skirmish.
Yeah, it's just clearing out.
Yeah.
All good.
Some wards in.
Yeah, and again, wet noodle fight in the top lane.
Yeah, nothing's going to be happening up there for a while. Mordekaiser did build the Dark Seal, so he is expecting to get some of these assists, getting some of these kills. And like you kind of said in the early game, is their damage is a little bit one-sided. But, oh, yeah, this actually might be the kill.
That is what we call the mistake. Because what Shrek allowed to happen there is he stepped close enough to Mordekaiser that the E put him behind him.
And the Shyvana ult's over the wall trying to get the Nocturne, but just does not reach. But yeah, no, great job by Mordekaiser. Undead Falcon, just being able to play off of GG's mistakes up there.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no, it's hard to call it anything else.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be dying there. You should be able to use the ult to dodge the Death Realm as well. You can break the tether if you're quick enough. But it is hard, to be fair. It is hard. But yeah, in the end, it is First Blood given over. Not the most consequential in the world, as he is able to get back the lane very quickly.
And the hook actually does land onto Ezreal, but actually this might be a trade out onto the Nautilus. Nautilus does flash away. The ult does come in, and Treestar picks up the kill onto Nautilus, and it is just Kaisa left, and Kaisa does dash out, and the Bard ult lands, but does not connect. But that great fight down there. It was sloppy, but it was sloppy. But
I don't know if I agree. I think
kill.
Zav played that to perfection.
Oh yeah,
it looks a bit sloppy. But he was perfect.
It was a symphony. Everything was played correctly, and they got the kill. Nautilus got the hook, and I don't know really what happened after that, but he was running away with a quarter of health, and then they secured the kill with the ultimate.
Yeah, it's just Bard does a lot of damage.
Yeah. For some reason,
you get that meat slap where you just get the boys in to just give them one across the cheeks, and that's exactly what you need sometimes. Leeching Leer is completed in this top side, so Undead Falcons, particularly with that first kill, he is in full control of this lane. He's opting to shove.
Yeah, I think he's going to try to keep this shoved in. Nocturne is, you know, topside now, rotating bot. It looks like I think he's a little too confident, would you say? You know, he thinks he's up a lot, which he kind of is. He's, you know, has the 2 dark seals. He does have his, you know, leeching leer. So, you know, it's pretty confident you can say that he thinks he's up a lot, but, you know, the lane can still turn at any time, though.
Well, see, the thing is that I don't know if the lane really can turn, but the matchup can, because...
Great hook! But Xavier managed to get out of there using the tunnel, and Nocturnal comes in as well, trying to secure the kill onto Xavier, and he finally does, and Traestar just kind of watches from a distance as his buddy falls in front of him.
Yeah, look, I mean, that's normally a play you get away with as Bard.
Yeah.
In that one case where you have a Nautilus hook landing and a Nocturne, because yeah, we obviously aren't going to get a replay, but if we could, what Zab did is the very standard Bard play. It's why you don't follow Bard through his cover. Because he just turns around and throws a Q at you. There's a Nocturne. The one champion in the game that doesn't care because he just spell shields it.
Yeah. It's just super unfortunate from Bard's POV, but honestly, but great hook by Nautilus, though, you know, to set up that kill.
Yeah, exactly. It really does just come back to the Nautilus with the lovely hook, but...
Yeah, it looks like Mordekaiser is trying to walk past the tower, get a little proxy off,
very
probably,
cocky.
But yeah,
this
and then
really
here comes Skelly.
Pop the blast cone. Yeah, pop the blast cone. He goes into the death realm, but do you really want to go into the death realm with a dragon?
It does not going to work out for you. I guess he was a little too confident in his lead there. Now he just kind of lost it. You know, Sion's gonna be able to shove this in. He's gonna lose a cannon. Mordekaiser's gone for another 14 seconds, but Drake being taken down here on the bot side for ODU. So they're even on Drake's now. Gold's pretty even as well. Only 300 gold difference at this current stage.
Yeah, we also have Usurper holding this Rift Herald, so can drop that down to get another couple hundred gold in their pockets as long as he drops it in the next 2 minutes.
Yep. And it looks like and they are dropping it right there in the mid lane. And they actually might be able to dive the Ziggs. I don't know if he's actually realizes what they're planning on doing. It looks like they are just going to back away. Never mind.
Yeah, they just collect the gold. They don't want to take any risks. But top lane is kind of getting brutalized at the moment. And there's no one on the way to help.
Yep. I mean, yeah, there's 3 members of UoNA up there in the top lane. And Sion finally, you know, decided to recall. And Traestar trying to survive as long as he can, but and one more shot does not happen. But almost a great play by Traestar, managing to get out. You know, at least trying to make that a one for one. But I think ODU just kind of played the tower management really well, though.
Yeah, I think they played that to perfection. You could see both of them were about 1 tower shot to dead. That means they juggled it pretty well.
Oh yeah.
So really good stuff there. Recognized that Bard was AWOL and that the Ezreal was super vulnerable. He's now down his flash as well, so there's nothing stopping Nocturne going down with the paranoia that he has available. Doing it all over again. Need to be careful, does Traestar. The gold remains close. It is, you know, 500 gold. Who cares? No big deal. The thing I really want to see is I want to see this Nocturne really come onto the map, try and have a bit more of an impact. As so far he's had 1 good paranoia, but I need a few more.
Yeah, and it was just that one paranoia that secured the kill on the Bard down there in the bot lane. But also, you could probably say the same thing about the Shyvana. Obviously, you know, Skelly has been kind of AFK farming once again. He kind of roamed top a little bit. But at the same time, both junglers have not really had that big of an impact on either side, to say the least.
So I think there's a difference. You're not wrong. Neither jungler has had an impact. You are correct. But I think the difference is that Skeleton doesn't have to.
Yeah, that's...
You have a Sion top, a Ziggs mid, and an Ezreal bottom. You don't need to enter those lanes. Chill in the jungle, get strong. You're the carry. On the side of Nocturne, you have a Lucian. I want a Lucian to be ahead. I don't want a Lucian to go even in lane. He needs to win in lane. Mordekaiser, okay, you don't need to do anything there. You should try and do something around the bot lane as well, if you can. The mid lane in particular is a big one. So that's why I really want Usurper. Press R, switch the lights out, and be your spooky ghost.
And real quick, do you see the Kai'Sa's build? It is the AP build. That is the AP build. We said it in the early game is that we do not expect an AP build down here in the bot lane. Generally, it's more of a mid lane thing. You know, you get all that solo XP, solo gold, everything like that. But it is an AP build Kai'Sa, so I'm interested to see how that's actually going to play into effect with a Mordekaiser on your team. And River is going to fall. There we go. River's going to fall under tower from the Lucian.
That's Lucian, baby.
Yep.
Culling's a good spell.
Yep.
You just can't make any mistakes against his champions. Unfortunately, River just caught slightly in the wrong spot, and Lucian will do everything he can about that one. As Undead and Shrek have a good little trade, but Undead does come out on top.
Ooh, and a stun coming against the wall for the Nautilus, and Nautilus doesn't land the hook. Kai'Sa on his way. Bard gonna try to tunnel out, and are they gonna look? Yeah, that's gonna be it. I don't know if they're gonna try to re-engage or whatever, but no, it looks like they're just gonna go off their merry ways.
Yeah, look, sometimes supports just smack each other. It's in their blood. They need something to do. They're not CSing. They'd get bored otherwise. It's enriching for them. But just on top of the Kai'Sa, there is actually something I didn't touch on in draft. Kind of just slipped my mind. There's sort of three Kai'Sa builds. There's your traditional AD Kai'Sa. There's the full AP Kai'Sa. That's almost exclusively played mid. And then there's what he's going for, which is the Nash's Tooth. I really like it. I think it's really smart here. Add some AP damage, add some mixed damage to your team to supplement the Mordekaiser, but still be auto attack focused. Don't just be the poke. You just lob W forever that the mid lane Kai'Sa. I like this out of Kegamos. I think he's making a good decision.
And I do agree. You know, it also splits up the damage a little bit more. You know, it's not just Mordekaiser doing all the AP, so. I think ODU's team comp is finally coming around, and it actually looks like they're going to be trying to find Skelly here. And Sion's actually going to be ulting down as well. Is he going to be able to connect on anybody? Lucian does flash away, and it looks like they're going to continue to try to find somebody. It's just not going to happen. Drake is up, so it looks like a Drake fight might be happening here. I don't know if they're going to try to give it. It looks like they are just going to be giving it, and that's going to be an uncontested Drake for UoNA.
And they have to give it, because Undead Falcons, he made the call to go ignite this game. It helped him win his lane, but it doesn't help you get to Dragons. It will be traded for a tower, so gold-wise, they're happy. ODU, they're fine with that. But you start worrying about Dragons. Shyvana, in particular, loves to get her some Dragons. That passive stacking up. You need to be very careful of that one. Cloud Drake as well. The individual Drakes on Cloud are really strong. It's Bard. Bard's slippery.
Yeah, Bard, he can do whatever he wants and he'll get out alive. Well, actually, no, because he didn't in the bot lane, so I can't say that.
Most
things.
Specifically that one.
Yeah. And Kai'Sa just doing no damage to the Sion. I mean, he just kind of hit everything except the W, and it's just not even any damage. I mean, he just showed it right back up.
Yeah, look, I'm going to give you some advice here, Kegamos. Take it from someone who's been there. Don't smack your head into brick walls.
Yeah. Just doing nothing but wasting abilities at that point. Oh, and actually Nautilus does land the hook, but once again, Sion is just so tanky that it's just throwing Tic Tacs at him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, you do have to hit him. You can't just let him
yeah,
you're not going to kill him.
Yeah, he does not care. And it does look like UoNA did pick up the Rift Herald during that little Sion bit in the bot lane. It looks like they're going to be taking this T1 turret in the mid lane as a reward. And go ahead.
Just to say, it's an interesting way to drop the Herald there. It's not bad. I don't think it's exactly optimal, because I think they could have gotten that tower without it. Because, of course, Ziggs detonates the towers when they get low. In the end, it's second Herald. It's not that important, whatever. But I feel like there was perhaps better ways to use it. But
yeah, I mean, all the plates off the board, everything like that. You know, you just kind of drop it, get out of your inventory, I guess. Yeah. But I mean, where would you place it then? At that kind of.
I mean, the big thing is to try and use it for Dragon.
Objectives, yeah.
For objective pressure. I mean, maybe Dragon wasn't up time. Actually,
no, it would have been up for like another 2-3 minutes almost.
Production, if you can, could we get objective timers? Could you switch those on for us? That would really help.
I think objective timers are turned off. And it looks like a fight could be breaking out here in the mid lane. And it looks like it's just going to be Ezreal falling first. to Lucian, and Silent ults into 3 people right here, and a lot of damage going out, and Xavier does pick up a kill, and it's going to be Nautilus left here, and it looks like Nocturne is just going to run away from the scene, act like nothing ever happened. Yeah, so fun fact about the objective timers. I tried turning objective timers back on my personal stream, and I think that got taken out. I cannot find the,
Is it not in the little eye menu?
No, it's not in the eye menu anymore. I don't know what happened, but I tried to turn them on myself, and I just couldn't find them. So I don't know if that was just my client or whatever, but fun fact about that. Yeah.
All right, well, in that case, we'll just have to, use our brain.
Yeah, which...
It's going to be harsh.
Yeah.
But look, hang on. We need to drop this bit for a moment because UoNA have just done an awesome play.
Yeah,
they have just
let's talk about that.
Cracked the map open. They've taken the tower in the bottom side. They've fended off the top side push. They got 2 towers in the mid lane. UoNA have just put a stick of dynamite directly under ODU and lit the fuse.
Yep. And I mean, that was just a great series of events. I mean, obviously the fight in the mid lane, they decided that, they won that. And then, the drop in the Herald mid lane obviously cleared up a lot of space there. And it's just a lot of gold on the board for him now. But having 5 towers taken, 2 objectives, and 4 kills, and only being up, like, 600 gold or so, or a little under 1,000 gold, is ODU's slowing the bleeding, though, if we could say that.
They are. They have definitely put the 200k on. But I don't think that works in the long run because I don't think they win the long game. They're against the Ziggs.
Yeah, against the Ziggs, we saw how much damage that one Scion ult did right there in the mid lane, basically wiping out 2 of them. And the hook doesn't land either. And a great Ezreal ult, kind of almost one-shotting the Kai'Sa there, taking her down to a quarter of health.
Get dunked on, Kai'Sa.
Yeah.
See you, Ned. Head back to base. No worries, mate. See you later. But yeah, look, I think in the long run, Mordekaiser, things get harder and harder. Lovely hook into the ult.
River. River deciding to take the execute right there, and a double kill for River in the on the Ziggs. And they're going to try to find a third here onto the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser just not doing a lot, but he is going to take out Treestar before he himself goes down. He actually decides to Hourglass last second, and he is still alive. He's just doing everything.
Hanging out in the death realm.
Yeah, and Skeleton does manage to finally take him down.
Yeah, look, when Mordekaiser gets a bit sad, he just presses R, heads off to Optum Nocti, and he'll come back later. But he got that 1 kill back. Not really enough
no, not quite.
To justify the passage of play, but it works out in the end. Yeah. That's okay. Where'd the items go? Oh no, come back.
Come back.
There we go. We're looking at gold. That's actually interesting.
And also, I just remember that Shyvana gets extra dragon buffs as she takes dragons. So it's not only are they on soul point and about to get the soul itself, Shyvana does extra stats along with having that. So it is looking a little bit out of reach for ODU. What would you say their win con for ODU is, though? Like, what do you think they would probably have to do, if it is possible, to come back into this game?
I mean, it's definitely possible.
It is still possible, but...
they have a really good pick comp in this.
And a great fight breaking out
pick
here.
Comp. As they get onto the...
and everything is just falling apart for UoNA, actually. A lot of damage going out for both sides. Skeleton trying to find a triple kill here onto the Kai'Sa, and Lucian's going to come down to the backline trying to execute Treestar, but he's going to take it out immediately afterwards, and that is going to be a quadra kill for Skelly and a Baron take for UoNA.
So you know how I just said it was possible?
Yeah.
I'm allowed to amend that statement.
Yeah. It looked good for ODU for a little bit. They had the more health in the health bars for a little bit, and then it just all went away. So UoNA does take the fight, take the Baron, and honestly, I don't think this game's gonna go on much longer.
The issue is that they have a really good pick comp, but they keep picking the wrong people. They're going on the Bard, and they didn't even kill the Bard there, but even if you kill the Bard, he has bought so much time. He has absorbed a Nocturne and a Nautilus ult. That's fine. At that point, how do you kill Ziggs?
Yeah.
You need your dive tools to get on Ziggs. This is a really hard game for them to win now, but it's not impossible.
It's
ODU
still
can
not
still come back
impossible.
in this game. They have this pick comp. They can seize on any mistake that UoNA makes.
Yep.
But at this point, it requires incredibly good play out of them, and it's pretty easy to win here from UoNA.
Yeah, and just going off what you said about, they're just picking the wrong people. I feel like this Nautilus has hooked Bard more times than any other champion, and it's not like a priority. Like, you don't want the Bard out first. Like, it'd be nice to, secure a kill, but it's not a priority. And Bard is just trying to show up this Mordekaiser up here in the top lane, and not a lot of damage going out for either side. And the Nocturne ult is going to happen. Don't know where it's going to happen though, but great Scion ult securing a few of them. Something in place. Bard ult does manage to get 2 of them. And then another Hourglass comes out for the Nautilus, and Mordekaiser is just still causing havoc back there on the back line. And this fight is looking really good for ODU, but Riverside is being taken down about 1 HP. Shrek having to get out of there as well. And I don't know who actually really technically won that fight. It looked pretty even, but I would have to say UoNA did
kills
more.
Wise.
Yeah.
Kills wise, it definitely did go over to UoNA, but they did get a big shutdown on the Shyvana, so gold wise they're doing okay.
Oh, and look at this. Yeah. Mordekaiser actually being poked down. And is he going to actually secure the kill? I don't think he does. I think he had W or his little shield. And Kaisa with 4 kills also. I didn't realize that Kaisa had 4.
They do have kills in the right place. As we can see, now looking at the gold, Kaisa is ahead of the Ezreal on the other side. Lucian is behind, but he's still competitive. This is just a very accelerated Ziggs. The issue is now range. Again, I ask the question, how do you kill the Ziggs? Because in that fight, you just kind of got forced to commit a Nocturne ult onto a Scion. Disaster.
Yeah.
But let's pretend that that doesn't happen. Let's pretend that Shrek doesn't play the fight to prevent. Then, okay, you Nocturne ult onto Ziggs. Maybe you kill him, but then Shyvana kills all of you. You are running out of answers for all of the options that UoNA have.
So, I mean, you just say UoNA has, like, a great front line, and actually, is there another fight breaking out here? There might be over this next Drake. Obviously, this is Soul Point, so they're not going to try to give this up super easily. This is going to be their chance to come back into this game. Denying us this Soul would keep them in the game a little bit longer. But once again, it's just that poke comp. Obviously, we're doing a lot more damage to them right now than ODU is to UoNA. But they're going to be trying to go into the Drake right now. Nocturne ult does go out. Looks like ODU is going to secure the bounty first. And Lucian doing a lot of damage over there, but he's going to be shooting into an Hourglass person. And Skelly managing to get out with 1 HP. Lucian trying to run away back into the jungle. Bard ult does land onto the Kaisa. They're going to be able to pick up the Kaisa along with the Lucian. And that is going to be GG for
game.
That's game. Scion up there in the top lane, taking off the turret. And that is it. That is it. I mean, death timers are over 30 seconds, 20 seconds on the Nocturne. And Shrek up there in the top lane, that's it.
He did Scion stuff.
Yeah.
He just walked through it. That's really well played stuff. Honestly, UoNA, not the greatest early game in the world. Not bad, but
no, not bad at all.
There's definitely room to improve. But the rest of the game, pretty much spot on. They did everything they needed to do. As soon as they got out of the early lane phase, they powered on. And I mean, when was ODU even meant to play? It just kind of felt like UoNA ran the world.
Yeah. And I just like to go back to that mid lane. What am I trying to say? Mid lane disaster there. Yeah, matchup. There we go. Thank you so much. The mid lane matchup, I mean, obviously we kind of thought the Lucian would take most of that. We thought he'd be poked out super early, and which he kind of was. But then we also said that the Ziggs is going to be the stronger threat later on, in which he was. Obviously, River, doing River things on really any champion. Like I said, I don't see River play a lot of Ziggs, if at all. So, but I mean, obviously, great job by the guys from both teams to bring us a very entertaining game, and this is a best of 3, so we got at least at least 2 more. So anything else you thought was a little interesting, or what did we get wrong, what did we get right?
I mean, look, I think you can look at the KDAs and identify one issue pretty easily. There's a bit of a jungle diff.
The jungle diff. There was a huge
Bit of
jungle
a
diff.
diffy in the jiffy.
Yeah.
That can't happen again.
Mhm.
Usurper. I liked a lot of your decision making, but when it came to team fight execution, just a few too many mistakes. Clean that up though, and this game didn't look close, but I think it really was one or two players away from being an extremely close game. So I definitely think this series has legs.
Yep, and I do agree. Just one or two mistakes from either side would have sent the game in two completely different directions. And honestly, I would say good job by Shrek in the top lane. Obviously, Mordekaiser scales a little bit better. I would say damage wise, and obviously with that Rift Maker, he was able to play it really well. And also you could see, he is up in gold here, only by about 1,000 though. But great job all around the board though from every player. We thought the Kaisa build was a little off, but then we realized later on, hey, this actually might work out really well. And what she did, she did pick up 4 kills with it. So just not enough though.
Yeah, not enough in the end. But yeah, overall, look, as I said, one or two mistakes is all it really takes. Clean that up. We've got a series.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think, are we just going to go to intermission, I guess? Yeah. All right. So it sounds like we are just going to head into a quick intermission while we load up into the next draft. And we'll see you then.
See you then.
Alrighty, welcome back. Welcome back. Great first series there. UoNA taking the first 1-0 in a best of 5 series. Also, guys, do not forget we are doing donations down below. You can hit that About tab. This is for the Children's National. You can also do !donate in chat. Do not forget to donate. We are also doing giveaways for it as well. I don't remember the prizes, but I know we are doing giveaways if you do donate. Even $1 helps. It's going to a great cause at Children's National. Also, shout out to Events DC for basically kind of putting this entire thing together. I know they are responsible for the prize pool that is being given away at the end of this. So shout out to Events DC as well. And Carix, welcome back.
Thank you, Bink. I'm happy to be back. Yeah, make sure you all do donate. It's for a great cause. Want to get support going in that. So remember, !donate in chat. But we do have a draft on our hands.
Yep, there we go.
We are getting towards that.
Ziggs first ban. Ziggs instantly taken off the board.
Get it out of there.
Get it out of there. And also with the recent Azir buffs, I think River has been really good on him. So he's being banned away as well. Respect bannings, that's all this is in this type of comp, is just all respect bans. We talked about in the first game. I mean, outside the Viego, everything else is pretty respectable.
Yeah, but this does allow the Seraphine through. That was banned in game 1.
True.
So snap Seraphine.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a bit more insight on this. You know a little bit more about
this.
Is that a support?
No, that is going to be River in the mid lane.
Right.
I guarantee it. He has been our Seraphine master for the past few weeks on this Seraphine. QK pushes it a lot, and every time it goes through, we basically push it, or we pick it. So that's definitely a QK draft right here. And the Jinx also being locked in for ODU. Obviously that 55% win rate, 45% ban rate is going to be coming into effect here. And along with the Leona, I'm not really liking the Leona so much.
It hides a lot of your draft.
It does. I think the Jinx Thresh probably would have had a little bit more synergy, but I don't know. Mumu being picked.
What?
And Renata. Okay, so that is definitely a Seraphine mid lane. Renata, Xavier loves the Renata. Apparently I think he likes Renata more than he does the Bard, is from what I've been told. So
it's just crazy to pick her this early.
Yeah.
Renata's quite funny because generally when a new champion comes out, there's 2 options. They see absolutely 0 play because they're terrible, or they see every lobby.
Yep.
I mean, do you remember release Vex? She had to get hot fix.
she had to get hot fix, but I've never really seen her playing any competitive.
That's interesting. I see her a lot. But yeah, Renata came out and was just kind of balanced. She's kind of a good champion.
Yeah. She's actually good.
Yeah, she's just but you don't normally see her pick this early because you pick her into certain drafts. You pick her into drafts where she can operate well. To pick her this early is so bold, but they kind of opt into it by just picking the Olaf.
Yeah.
Who, of course, he can immune the Renata ult. Don't
Yep.
get me wrong. I know that. I'm not silly. But what Renata is really good at is stopping hard engage comms. You try and hard engage, throws out the gas, Lamau. What are you going to do?
I think
I'm seeing a Leona and an Olaf.
Yeah.
That reads like a hard engage comp.
Yep. That is a very hard engage comp if I've ever seen one. But we do have a lot of disengage on the side of UoNA, though. You have the Seraphine ultimate that can engage and disengage along with the Renata. You got the Amumu who also can engage as well. So it's just this Olaf pick kind of throws away most of our CC and when we can actually use it. So I think one of our players are going to have to bait out that ultimate before the other two are becoming to use. But the Cassiopeia being picked.
Super interesting.
Yeah, definitely something you don't see a lot, I would say. But there's the Twitch for Treestar. Treestar has been grinding this Twitch.
Comp is so gross.
Are we expecting a Yuumi? I kind of want to see a Yuumi here.
Yeah, Tom and Jerry?
Yeah, Tom and Jerry. I really hope the Yuumi does get locked in here. Xavier is.
Wait, it's not going to be Yuumi. It's Renata support. What are we talking about? This is top
lane. Oh, wait, yeah, no, it's top lane. What am I saying?
Top lane.
What am I saying? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, my God. UoNA has just put together such a disgusting champion.
Yeah, this is...
disgusting comp. You can't fight them.
Oh, the
you
Darius.
I actually like this Darius pick because I feel like
too.
that is such a strong death ball that the only option you have is you just need to come out of laning phase with 20 kills.
Well, it looks like it is going to go through. They decide to opt for the Pantheon. He does have, he does have that global ult as well, or not global, but a pretty decent ranged ultimate. Managing to, rotate if needed or get back to lane. Is it going to be an ignite or TP Pantheon? Don't know.
I know I told him off for the ignite last time, but
I think this is the ignite.
Again, I don't know how you 5v5 against this UoNA comp. If you try and fight them, you get Renata ult, Seraphine ult, Amumu ult, and then there's just a Twitch popping up and just going, ha 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 ha! I don't have to play the game.
Yeah.
I just A-click and get a penta.
I mean, Jinx can kind of do the same thing as well, but
Jinx doesn't have 4 other ults to set her up.
True, exactly. I mean, you have the Leona ult and the Pantheon stun, but outside of that, everything else is, kind of situational. The Cassiopeia ult, along with the Olaf ult, are, something that I don't know how big of a play they're going to come, like how they're actually going to be useful here. I mean, obviously, I know Olaf ult is going to be super useful. I mean, but you have to, if you're playing Olaf, you have to be able to get to that back line. Like, you're going to pop your ultimate, you just want to run right at them, and you got to take out, the Seraphine, the Twitch, or at least the Renata at least. But if he cannot do that, then I feel like this comp is just going to fall apart.
I completely agree. And this is, I feel like the way you have to approach this game as ODU is full unga bunga. You're just cavemen. As I said, you need to just come out of lane with like a 6k gold lead because your Olaf needs to be able to run through 3 people minimum. He has to be able to do that. If he can't, if he has to stop and actually deal with a Mumu or Scion, you just don't win because Twitch will shred you.
Yep. So
Cassiopeia has a bit of an easier time. Obviously, she can sit back. There's a lot of DPS in that pick. But I just don't know how you're ever getting onto Seraphine and Twitch.
No. Yeah, no, it's going to be very tough for this Cassiopeia to be able to do anything. Obviously, she also kind of takes a hot minute to scale as well for her E to start actually producing damage. I do believe it's her E, correct? I actually don't play a lot of Cass.
It is the Twin Fangs is the E.
Yeah.
Yep, I mean, that's not going to be a huge problem because both teams, like, UoNA wants to scale as well. This comp does nothing in the early game.
Yeah.
It has some cool CC. They can definitely go for cool picks, but you don't want to necessarily be fighting around a first round.
No.
Just let that one go. Unless you get a pick, obviously.
And I'm looking at it, and I think the Scion might be able to build Hullbreaker here and just split push the entire game. I mean, who's going to stop you?
Can he? Yes. Should he?
Possibly not. I don't know. It just looks like it's it's setting him up pretty well. I mean, looking at their ODU's team comp, it just feels like no one can really stop him in a 1v1 or even a 1v2 situation, especially if he saves ult. The only one that could probably really chase him down is the Olaf or the not even the Jinx. Probably just the Olaf if Pantheon gets a stun, or if he ults after him, then possibly. But
yeah, I mean, I agree. I definitely think Sion could uncontested side lane again, unless Pantheon gets a lead. The question is that even useful? Like, obviously, it's always got a baseline level of usefulness. Yeah. But what's more useful? Him slowly pushing in the top lane, or just standing there / dancing in a team fight, not taking any damage while his Twitch gets a pentakill?
Yeah,
he's just going to be a brick wall, and I think I would rather see that. But look, he definitely could go Hullbreaker. He definitely could just play the 1-4. He is hard to answer. I'm not sure which one I prefer. UoNA, feel free to enlighten me.
Yeah, I guess we're about to find out here. Here we go. Going to go ahead and get everything set up. And it is a best of 5, so UoNA did take the first round if you are just now joining us.
But yeah, we are onto the Rift. Once again, as we get into the game, exclamation mark, donate in chat, support a good cause. Oh, yeah. But now we focus on the League of Legends as they head out onto the Rift. Cassiopeia has started with the tier, hardly a surprise. Just kind of having a look at a few runes that I always question. No Glacial on the Renata, not a true Chad. It's all right. We accept Guardian gamers.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, how do you expect this early game to go? Like, do you think it's going to be a lot of fighting, or do you think everybody just kind of wants to sit back and scale up, like kind of like last game?
I think it has to be a lot of fighting if ODU wants to win. They need to get into the lanes. They need to get into the mid lane in particular. They need to try and kill this Seraphine. They need to try and kill the Twitch. Renata is pretty vulnerable in the bot lane. If you layer Leona CC with an Olaf running in with the Chompers, there's not a huge amount that she can actually do. She is a fairly frail champion. They need to play fast. They need to get kills. I was saying, I think they need to come out of lane with like a 5 or 6k gold lead, or they're just doomed. Yep. If UoNA want to win, then this is a classic resident sleeper, old style LCK where it's 0 kills at 35 minutes. Then they win.
And honestly, I mean, both of these junglers as well are kind of like, they are able to gank pretty early. Like, the Mumu, his R or his ultimate would, benefit him, but he does have 2 Qs, 2 stuns, 2 roots, whatever you want to call it. And then the Olaf does slow with the Axe. He doesn't need his ultimate in order to, win a fight. But yes, it will be beneficial. So honestly, I think either of these junglers could also, be impactful in either lane, that top or the mid lane or the bot lane, and get one of their players ahead. So like you said, I think it's going to come down to whatever side wants to win. I mean, if ODU wants to win, they got to get kills. If, University of North America want to win, then they can kind of just do whatever they want. If they get kills, good for them, but they can just sit back and scale.
Yeah, exactly. Just curious how actually manage that. Just watching the clear, because the junglers are clearing in the opposite direction.
Mumu started blue, so obviously...
Yeah, they're clearing top to bottom.
And Xavier does have to flash away.
That's good. You want that. Now you can gank this lane. Zav is so vulnerable right now. As soon as this wave bounces, I mean, this is a problem where he cleared bottom to top. I understand why he does that. You can't.
Oh, and here comes the Mumu as well. Mumu's rotating that way as we speak. It looks like he's just going to go right to his Krugs, though.
Yeah, I think
it looked interesting for a second, but I think he was just going to show himself for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he was just kind of, I think, opportunistically covering himself in case Olaf was there. I don't think they actually had any info on where Olaf started until like now. They should be spotting him, I think. Not 100% sure, but we'll know now. Now they know where he is.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, there's the Olaf. Do a little bit of damage to him on his way to bot side jungle before he just recalls. Kind of wasted a little bit of time there running across mid lane for no reason. But hey, to each their own.
Yeah, look, I mean, he shows himself. He actually got the double scuttle crab by the looks of it, so well
he did.
done there.
Yeah.
Amumu is not the fastest clearer in the world, particularly compared to someone with an extremely fast clear like Olaf.
Yeah.
So he is off to this early lead, immediately bases, picks up a pickaxe, which is lovely.
Like, Mumu kind of come down here into the bot lane, and he just decides to recall. All right. Looks like just recalls coming out all over the board. Everybody's just resetting, picking up items to going for the next, 3-5 minutes of the game. So.
Yeah, interesting recall timing out of UoNA's bot lane here. As the wave, they've left it in a really lovely position for themselves. As, yeah, they kind of just get this free recall. It's a bit of a cheat. Allows them to accelerate their items just a little bit. But of course, not ideal back timing for either ADC. They don't really, you love to go back and just grab a new quiver.
Yeah.
That's kind of the dream, but not going to happen very often. I need to see some aggression coming out of ODU, and here we go.
That was it, but River still had that flash, so he's able to just flash away and lane as normal. So it is.
But you got to come back now. You got to come back.
Yeah.
You got the flash. That's step one. Step two, you got to go back and you got to kill him. You need to kill this Erebin. They do pick up this dragon, so that's good. That is the correct move right now. Just go try and pick up the objective. Obviously, they succeed. That's good.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. I'm just so scared if they try and play 5v5s against this comp. I just don't think it's doable. Yeah. Tree Star is just empowered to 1v and 0.
And I just want to take your attention up there into the top lane. Amumu on his way up there, trying to gank this Pantheon. I don't know if it's actually going to land. If he can land the stun, then I think it might work. And it looks like that he is going to fall. He's dead. Yeah, he's gone. And who's going to pick it up? The Amumu is going to take it to the bank, while Olaf is too busy taking his crows.
Let me give you a hug.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't quite see the start of that play, unfortunately, but
yeah.
It's pretty predictable to Amumu. Just to advantage.
Yeah, I
did
mean,
his job.
All he really has to do is just land one Q, and then it's basically, hopefully your laner can kind of do the rest, but if not, you have another Q as well, so.
Exactly.
It's a lot of lockdown, especially when Pantheon is actually relatively squishy. The only thing that's really, like, if I'm being 100% honest, so 2 Qs versus a Scion is, enough to secure the kills, so.
Yeah, 100%. Pantheon has that pseudo tankiness of his E, but if you can't get good use out of that, he kind of just does done.
Yeah.
I don't think it skews the matchup hugely. This is still a Scion. He doesn't have a huge amount of agency. He is just a brick wall. He's just there to absorb pressure. But it's definitely not good. I was saying ODU needs a gold lead. Currently, it's a very slight gold lead for UoNA, so that needs to change.
Yeah.
But this is I love the lane manipulation. This is not something you see all the time in amateur play. Something that people make a mistake on, and I love seeing.
And it looks like UoNA going to be rooted and then almost taken down there. About a quarter of health, 1 bar of health, in other words. Skelly also kind of hovering there. It looks like they're not going to, contest it, obviously. And actually, it looks like they are going to go in, and Pantheon up here on the top lane, along with the Olaf, going to try to get Shrek. And it looks like he's just going to be able to ult away, and nothing really happens. UoNA gets taken down just a little bit further in health, but it's just not enough. Are they going to go for it again? They're going to continue. The flash and the stun does land. Skelly does manage to secure the kill onto Leona behind the tower. Flashes for it, but yeah, why would you recall there when you know the wave's pushing in? You got 3 members of UoNA on their way and eager to get that kill.
That's just lazy.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is just kind of lazy or just unaware, maybe. I don't know, but I feel like that's more of a laziness, like, oh, they're not going to do anything, or if it happens type of situation.
Yeah, that's just lazy. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Walk back further. Because you can't give away kills like that. Really good play out of Skelly to get onto him there. I'm not 100% sure if he was going to have the range.
He did, somehow.
He did. And this is going from bad to worse here for ODU. Of course, we are only 9 minutes in. Don't want to be too doom and gloom.
Yeah.
But a 1,000 gold lead over to UoNA. And the gold is, I mean, it's all on the Amumu, which is not ideal.
Yeah,
But hey, he can transfer the lead.
True, exactly. You know, he gets a little bit tanky. He's able to gank a little bit more, survive a little bit more, and, you know, get these other laners the kills. But, and here, I mean, here we are. You know, Skelly's going back up here into the top lane. If he can land the stun, and he does. And then he also does the ult as well, and they're just going to get another kill onto the Pantheon. Olaf on his way. He does pop Ghost. Don't know if he's actually going to be able to pick up anything. It looks he does miss the axe. And he's going to throw another axe, and it does land. I don't know if he's going to chase him all the way back down to tower. It looks like it is. Cassiopeia also kind of hovering, but not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, they ran the mid laner up. I see what the intention was, but the play wasn't really synced.
Red gets reset.
Undead Falcons. I can save you 2 letters in your name, mate, based on this game. Drop those first 2. It's dead.
Yeah.
Dead. Pantheon's behind against a Scion. You're dead.
Yeah.
Done so.
And I'm also interested in the, I mean, obviously both teams have a lot of CC. The cleanse on the Twitch and the cleanse on the Jinx is something I'm just now realizing. I did not see that while we were loading in, so.
Yeah, I mean, you have to cleanse
it makes
the
sense.
Renata
Yeah,
roll.
it makes sense. It 100% makes
huge.
sense. I just did not realize it until now. That I was like, oh, Jinx is running cleanse along with Tree Star.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah,
Tristan's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
But, I mean, getting rid of the Leona ult makes a lot of sense. You don't want to get one shot. Don't really need the heal. And look at all that amazing Pantheon damage. Wow! Getting out-traded by a full tank.
Yeah.
Can't fall behind on this champ.
Yeah, it's something that is going to be very difficult for this Pantheon to do anything. He's definitely going to need a little bit of jungle pressure up there if he wants even a chance to kill this Scion. Or Shrek is just going to have to mess up severely and take a few tower shots to help him out. But at this stage of the game, I do think top lane is completely in Shrek's hands.
I have to agree. It's hard not to.
Herald is up as well. Looks like no team is really eager to grab it yet. Olaf is kind of working his way up there. Scion is pushed in, or is pushing the wave in, so he's going to be able to rotate down if needed.
Yeah,
Like...
I am beginning to sort of wonder what the plan was from UDO, because they didn't play around the Herald. Oh yeah, he lands one.
He lands one and does negative damage.
Yeah, it's no big deal. Just just letting him know he's there.
I'm here.
But we need to see them play around this Herald. They have rotated Leona up, not level 6 though, actually 2 levels down to the Renata. That's really, really bad. This is something to always track around the Rift Herald. The Rift Herald is 4 minutes late. The fact that you are level 5 at 12 minutes on Leona.
Oh, and it looks like actually
What are you
Olaf is
doing?
going to have to ult away, and obviously the Renata ult not going to be able to do anything, and Tree Star does manage to secure the kill onto the Olaf Scion coming down. Misses his ultimate though, but a great Seraphine Charm charms both of them, and it looks like no kills are going to be picked up. Misses the Cassiopeia ult. Jinx ult does a little damage to a few of the UoNA members in the mid lane, but that is going to be a free Herald for UoNA during that fight. I mean, that was a poor fight by ODU, something that should not have happened, but it did happen.
Yeah, it's not. Look, the way I say it, it's like going to your son's funeral. You don't want to, but you kind of have to.
Yeah.
That fight was rough.
Just recalling in wrong places, to be honest.
Yeah, look, this is not the best performance we've ever seen. Handshake lands. I don't think there's going to be a huge amount of follow-up, but Cassio lurking. We could get a dive.
It could potentially get a dive. Leona does have an ult, so Xavier forced to run back under tower. Does get grounded, managing to dodge every single ability, and does pop the ability on himself. The TP does come in for Shrek. Leona being 1 HP does get away. Pantheon still there, about half HP. Shrek just tanking all this damage from the cast and the Jinx, just not gonna be able to do anything to this Scion. And that is all they wrote for that little skirmish. And Olaf, and actually Herald does get placed in the mid lane. Olaf kind of showing that he's there. He does have ult, so even if one of these abilities do land, he looks like he is going to be trying to go onto the Seraphine here. Honestly, if anything does flash over, Cass is there as well. Looks like River might be in trouble here. He does not have ult, so, but this is what? And Skelly gets the kill onto the Cass, and, you know, Olaf finally does take down River. Failed flash, and Shrek just kind of coming up as well. And I don't even know what's happening anymore. These fights are all over the board, turning. And
yeah,
it just keeps going back and forth.
That was kind of, I can't tell if that was incredible play by River or kind of not great play from Usurper. Because it looked like Skelly just kind of went, yeah, see you, River. I don't want to die. Off you go, mate.
That's what it looked like.
Which it looked like back because I thought they could maybe afford it, but then River just lives forever.
I'm a little embarrassed on how long it took to kill the Seraphine, though. I mean, it's an Olaf versus the Seraphine. It's something that should be very one-sided, and it looked like he just kind of.
River didn't let him get onto it.
Yeah,
he was
like
playing around the little tip of that wall like an absolute freak.
Yeah, it was crazy, but I mean, at the same time, you just can't really do that, especially when you're playing a champion that needs to kill those type of, you know, champions. You know, that is your job here, is to execute the backline, and when you know, struggle, it's very difficult. And a great stun being landed here onto the Cass. Cass is going to fall once again in the mid lane. Great combo. Yeah, great combo there by River and Skelly to secure the kill onto LSS.
Yeah, and I mean, this is what we were talking about in draft with this comp.
Yeah.
If they get, if one ult lands, say goodbye.
Yeah.
Because the others are coming.
Exactly.
The damage is coming.
Yep.
It's a Leandri's Seraphine as well. No Moonstone in this house. This is a secondary carry. In fact, at the moment, she's the primary carry. She's the secondary carry.
Yep.
This is just so lovely here from UoNA. Dragon is on the menu, though.
Yep, Dragon is here. Wondering who's going to strike first. It is a 3v4 at this current moment, or a 3v3 in the river. And it looks like a movement is going to be going on to the Pantheon real quick. Just going to get him off the map before this Drake spawns. River does pick up the kill, and it does look like ODU is going to be taking the Drake first. But it's just UoNA just going to come into the pit. Great Scion ult to secure the kills onto their jungler. It is only Cassiopeia and Jinx left, and Jinx is towards the flash out before UoNA takes the Drake. This is... it's one-sided at this point. I mean...
It's all right. We're past 15 minutes. There's an easy way out here.
Yeah. Oh, there's an easy way out. Oh, boy. That is, if you're an ODU fan, that is something you do not like to see happen. So,
no,
it's not looking so hot.
The decision making is honestly just shocking. Yeah. I don't like being mean. I don't like being super negative. That's not fun. But just shocking decision making. You've got to think harder before you go in on a Pantheon like that. There was also a really nice Renata ult I wanted to shout out. Have hit it across onto 4, really bought them a lot of time to come in and layer the rest of the CC, allow the Seraphine to deal all of the damage, as well as that Twitch. Overall, UoNA just kind of playing spotlessly, and it's hard to beat a team when they play perfectly. Yep.
And I think a lot of it just has to do with the amount of CC they have. I mean, obviously, if they can't move, you know, they can't attack you, so you have the Twitch that, with this much CC on the team, it's going to be hard to target this Twitch. You know, Twitch is as one of the highest ranges, especially if he's running lethal tempo, and it's just you gotta deal with the Mumu, you gotta deal with this, you know, Scion, and it's just you're not getting to Twitch. And now Seraphine's building the Leandry, so it's not even, you know, you gotta worry about the Seraphine as well.
Yeah, I think you do. I think she's a big worry.
Yeah, and Xavier actually be caught out here in the bottom river, and Xavier is gonna flash over the wall. Great flash, but flash for a flash. Great berserk going out. Great double man charm, and River managed to get a double kill. And here comes the Silent Ult, going to be able to secure another kill, possibly. It looks like he does miss, does flash onto Leona for the kill. Pantheon coming in a little bit late, jumping onto the Renata, but going to get eliminated soon after. And it is all up to this Jinx, and Jinx does fall.
And
Oh,
that
wow.
bailout was so close. About a second off Zab dying, and that could have potentially changed the course of the fight. But overall, just a dominating performance there by UoNA. They play off each other perfectly. They are playing as a unit. ODU are playing as 5 individual players. And I tell you which one goes better. It's the one individual unit. They have trust in each other. They have faith in each other. And you can see it left on the Rift.
Yep, and I mean, obviously, there's not really much. I mean, Herald is up as well, so this could also be an Herald take. It looks like they are going to be kind of working their way. Is picking up that second Herald. Obviously, it's not going to provide you much gold power, but just putting a little bit more pressure on the map, dropping it top, dropping it mid. You know, it's going to force a lot of them to rotate towards that, or not. You're going to get a free, tower from that Herald, and it looks like I don't know if they're actually going to try to go for it or not. I don't know what the plan is right now for either side.
I mean, I think the plan for UoNA is pretty obvious. Not obvious, sorry. That was the sound of the It's pretty easy, is what I meant to say. It's just keep scaling for now. Handshake is a good spell, and Skelly is a good reinforcement.
And it looks like another fight is going to be breaking out. Olaf just wants to fight all the time, and he's going to force a run away with his Unstoppable. He's going to go right back in, and he's going to fall to Xavier. And there we go. Twitch is going to be able to eliminate Leona as well. And it just kind of looks like ODU is running it, to be honest. I mean, you're this far behind. You can't be looking for fights.
I mean, there's 2 ways to look at it, right? You're this far behind, so you can't be looking for fights. Or we're this far behind, screw it, look for fights.
Yeah,
it doesn't get worse.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see both sides, but at this point, I think it's just like one of those games that you just kind of...
I think they're talking about next game.
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
They're planning the reverse swing.
Yep. And, I mean, you got 9K, almost 10K gold lead. It's looking a little bit out of reach. Doesn't look like they have a lot of win cons for the side of ODU at this point. They do have the Drake advantage, though, by 1. I mean, the 1 Drake.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
10 minutes and they'll get a Mountain Soul.
Oh, yeah.
Easy peasy. Assuming that UoNA disconnect from the game.
Yeah, exactly,
Because I don't think that's going to happen. But redeploying onto the map is UoNA. They all just back. They just completed items. We do have the Twitch now locked and loaded with the Runins and the Kraken Slayer. Seraphine in the mid lane picks up that Rylai's as well. She's absolutely massive.
Yeah. And the Axe is just doing nothing to the Scion here. He's just able to walk wherever he wants, and he is not scared whatsoever. I mean, you can see how far we're pushing up with, they know that ODU is behind them, and Olaf is going to be going right back in. Airborne does land, and he's going to be taking down half HP pretty fast. And a great shutdown onto the Pantheon, onto the Twitch. And a great ult. Jinx does get taken down instantly. Great stun by the Cassiopeia. Finally using the Unstoppable, trying to secure a few kills beforehand. And it looks like this actually might be ODU's fight to take, but no. Skelly does take out Leona right before, and a huge triple kill coming out, or a quadra kill actually, for the Scion, getting the final kill onto the Cassiopeia. And Drake is up as well. Looks like Sion's going to walk his merry way down there to take that, while UoNA take towers.
Yeah, look,
it was looking promising for ODU for a second.
I mean, they killed the Twitch, right?
Yeah.
And we did see, when you do remove that big damage threat, it hurts UoNA. Seraphine not as able to deal damage as a Twitch. This Seraphine does hurt, though.
It does.
Don't get that mixed up. But, in the end, they get a pick. They try. I think if you're not 10k down, you might win that fight. If you're 4k down, you probably win that fight. But when you're 10k down, they just beat you to death with their wallets.
Yeah, it's just like one of those things like, and Twitch is going to be eliminating Jinx real quick, just kind of another caster minion there in the mid lane, getting an extra 400 gold in his pocket, so. I mean,
they are.
Jinx with a caster minion.
It's a say. Look, give him a break. It's a cannon.
It's cannon minion at least, yeah. Give us a little bit of a tougher fight.
He's only 0, right? He's not. He's honestly, compared to the rest of his team, he's doing fine.
Yeah, true.
This is a roughie from ODU, though, to be sure. They need to try and bounce back from that one, but I think they're gonna have to bounce back in game 3. think came to.
And Xavier,
put it in the book. Not quite.
Xavier almost stole that red.
That's almost mean at that point.
Kind of bullying at that point, you know.
What are you gonna do here, Pantheon?
Pantheon actually kind of doing a lot of damage, but just not enough.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously one
all
Q
of his
just
spells.
yeah, and there we go. That's gonna be it. And one more. There we go. Shrek does get another solo kill onto Pantheon for looks like the 6th time this game.
Yeah, I don't know if he's killed him 6 times, but
It could be close. And Olaf and Cassiopeia gets double and a huge ult for the Olaf. But once again, you pop the Olaf ult and you're not able to kill anybody. But a huge Seraphine charm coming in from the backline. You'll be able to eliminate at least 2 members. Olaf trying to run away. Double kill for the Twitch. And Olaf does get away with 1 HP, but it's going to pick up another kill onto the Jinx. Or Skeleton.
They follow the pirate's code.
Yeah,
You need one alive to tell the tale.
Yep.
Of UoNA as they storm your base.
And it's just one of those things that Olaf is not able to kill. You know, you pop the ultimate, you run in there, you know you cannot be stopped outside of actually falling, but like
so he can be stopped for sure, because
Yeah.
they'll kill him.
yeah, you can just like eliminate him instantly, but I think Olaf is just in a really weak place right now in the meta.
Yeah, he can't.
He's not as strong as he was in season 11 or whatever, so I never really liked the Olaf pick. I understand it. I see why they picked it. You know, there's a lot of CC, but at the same time, I just don't think he's a great champion.
Yeah, look, I think he has his play. Zab's in trouble, but
Yeah.
he gives the handshake, gives him the beat, flash
stun.
forward from Falcon. This should be a kill. No.
Oh, it's not.
He really...
Oh, there it is,
good,
yeah.
good,
Yeah,
there
he
it is.
does use the spear to finish the kill.
Well done there, but look, compensation prizes. Always
Yeah.
good as... Oh, no.
Cassiopeia getting caught out here in the bot lane. Once again, it is...
Oh, lovely
whoa.
turn!
And a great pick here for ODU, and a great charm from Seraphine, and just eliminating everybody as Tree Star. But great follow-up, or great engage by Skelly and River to set that up for Tree. I mean, it's... What are we?
That Twitch.
Yeah, Twitch is just unstoppable at this point. 600 gold bounty, 12-2. It's something you do not want to see if you're ODU.
No,
it is, I mean...
You really don't. That
Yeah.
is a proper disaster.
A level
This
13 Twitch going against a level 12 Jinx. Just hit level 12.
Yeah, honestly, Jinx is still kind of relevant. She's almost a full item down, which is
Yeah.
hard. But, I mean, honestly, I'm so annoyed that we cut away from it. I know Auto Director is a fickle beast. But Shrek absolutely styled on this Cassiopeia. That was like a 1-frame turnaround.
It was.
That was lovely
It
stuff.
was. That was great job by Shrike right there. And he's been playing really well this game in general. Like, he did build the Hull Breaker, as I kind of expected he would. And he's just managing to, 1v1, 1v2, whoever tries to come stop him, and nobody's able to stop him yet. He's able to turn around and, win all these fights that whatever comes his way. And here he comes, coming down the river, misses everything, and there's just a lot of abilities going out from both sides. Stun does land, double stun is Skeleton, and Shrek trying to do a 1v2 real quick. Tree Star just running around in circles, trying to finish these kills. Is he going to get the kill onto Olaf? He does. It is only Jinx left, along with the Leona. Jinx does fall. Leona is recalling, trying to defend the base for as long as she can. Baron is up.
They made it.
Yeah,
Look at the healing.
Yeah.
They made it.
Yeah.
They've got double enchanters.
They do.
Yeah, this is so much sustain. I mean, I don't think they can end the game here. They can definitely try. And maybe they just win a fight under the Nexus Towers.
They honestly probably could. They do have a lot of the, you said the enchanters. They could, heal back up. But yeah, they don't have to. I think they are just going to go for the Drake. They're going to get the soul point.
They will.
Client acting up. Is that on my end or?
I think it's just a spectator client having a little freezy wheezy.
Oh, okay, there we go.
It happens.
And honestly, at this point, Sign does have Hull Breaker. He can do he could probably just end the game if he really wants to.
I mean, he can do whatever he
you know,
wants.
they're going to try to...
He can build a Rabadons.
Yeah,
Why
like,
not? Get a
what-
nice hat.
if UoNA wants to win the game within the next 3 minutes, they can force a Baron fight, and then Sion just TP in, ult in, and then end the game by himself, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we could come up with a dozen different ways they can win the game very quickly. Hopefully, it's
Yeah,
not freezing.
yeah.
Like,
I mean, honestly, they can
let's-
just pick
let's
this, you know...
address the elephant in the room. It's 36-8 in kills.
Yeah, it's 36-8.
a
Honestly,
bit of a difference.
it's
28 kill difference.
it's out of reach. It's not looking good for ODU. But I mean, the gold though, for being up 36 kills or 20 whatever. I'm not good at quick maths, but being up over 20 kills, the gold is only.
Shrek is in the middle of
and,
four.
yeah,
He doesn't
Shrek
roll.
is going to be caught out here, but just
can
not
cut the
enough
trade down.
damage. He does have ult. Oh no, he does not have ult. So he's actually going to finally fall, but he's going to be able to pick at least one of them off in his after form. Who's he going to try to choose? And he's just doing a lot of damage to all of them. He's actually not going to be able to secure a kill, but gets Leona extremely weak.
And the attempted clapback was onto Falcons, but he just ults away. So that is a positive play. Good collapse there. Obviously, it's far too little too late.
Yeah.
Baron is on the side of UoNA. I feel like at this point, you just group up as 5 and walk down mid.
I agree. I don't think, you know, you're not going to really do anything else if you're UoNA. Like, you can take the soul. Baron doesn't spawn for another few minutes. But at this point, I think you just kind of walk down as 5 and win the game. It's just a matter of when are they going to do that.
We'll have to find out. But I'm just... This is something to watch.
Yeah.
If you're a coach for UoNA, because you are miles ahead, but you want to close this out cleanly.
Yeah.
You want to pretend that you're only 2k gold up.
True. Yeah. I see that, and the flash stun does come out. They need you to execute
Gold.
the Jinx. Yeah, there we go. Getting a little bit more gold on the board, and this actually could be a great fight for ODU. Redemption does come out.
Olaf, you are very far ahead of your team, my friend.
And he does get charmed. Great pick by River, though, managing to understand when that was actually going to happen. Great berserk by Xavier, and Skeleton getting another great ult in the back line. Sion here as well, and that is going to be all they wrote for ODU.
Shrek is just picking
Quadra
up
kill for the Sion, man. This is... What is going on? Great.
It's brutal, is what it is.
Yeah. All right.
As they do push into the base, this game is about to end, Mink.
Yep. And this could... Yeah, this is going to be it. Another great, clean game by UoNA. Obviously, being up 30 kills is an accomplishment. It looks more like Team Deathmatch more than a League of Legends game. So, and it looks like they're going to try to find one more kill before the game ends, and it just does not happen. But great game. I mean, we liked the draft at the very beginning. Like we kind of said that, like, you know, blue side was going to have, you know, a really good draft. So, and it came true. So not really much else to say. It was a bloodbath all over the board. And I mean, any closing words you want to say before?
I don't know. Can we give them a couple extra bans?
Yeah, can we get some bans on the board?
Because, my word, I mean, get rid of this Sion, force Shrek to play something else, I think. Don't seem to have an answer to it. You can't let them have the Exodia comp. That Seraphine needs to go straight back on the ban bench.
Yep.
But overall, I mean, there's not a lot of analysis to be done. We said if UoNA gets out of the lanes even, they win, and they got out of the lanes ahead. So they really won.
Yeah, and that was it. I mean, UoNA just kind of... It was a really clean game by UoNA, and hopefully to see if ODU can come back. You know, this could be a reverse sweep if they do manage to come back. So, you know, it's a best of 5. One more game secures it for UoNA. They go on to the top 32 in the CLOL, and also get a pretty hefty chunk of cash as well. But I think we're going to end it here for us. We're going to switch it over to Josh. He's going to have a few words for donation. Alrighty, guys, welcome back, and obviously, thank you everybody that donated, don't forget to hit the exclamation mark donate. Also use the link in the about tab. It's great to a great cause. You know, you got the Children's National. Also, once again, shout out to Event DC, you know, for kind of giving us the prize pool and everything like that. So giving these players a little bit of cash in their pocket. But obviously, it was a very dominant last game. It's 2-0 series, best of 5. So we're going to see how it goes into this game.
Yeah, the 3-0 run back does seem like a distant dream, but hey, we go one game at a time. If they can make it 2-1, then hell, they can make it 3-2. Why not?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Seraphine's got to be hitting the ban list. Fair enough banning out the Ziggs, but if you don't ban that Seraphine, I'm confused.
Yep. And I totally forgot, our coach, Kyuki, he actually has an entire guide on YouTube for Seraphine. So obviously, like, our guys are very well informed on how to play this champion. So if you do not ban the Seraphine, you're making a mistake, and it does not get banned in the first phase. So do they have a counter to it, though, is the question. Is they're like, hey, if they pick the Seraphine, we could do this instead. But you thought the Olaf was probably the answer to that, but it just did not happen. And it looks like it's almost the exact same comp as last time so far. You know, the Jinx first, and the Renata being picked up for...
that has switched sides.
Yeah, it did switch sides, so I'm wondering what we're going to choose for our bot lane comp at this point, because they just chose theirs, you know, the Jinx Renata. We can on Sona.
We got both the Sonas.
Yeah, we got
Sona 1 and Sona 2.
Oh, a Talia being hovered right now.
That'd be cool.
That'd be really
I don't know if Talia synergizes super well if they want to go with that same style of comp. Udyr, again, like, I think you could just pick the Amumu again.
Yeah.
You don't have to, but you could just do it again.
The Shyvana. I like the
with this.
Shyvana. Yep. You know, very versatile. You can do a lot of things with her. You know, and then just a great ultimate, able to knock everybody up, along with your E. If they do decide to go the AP, is just going to be able to one-shot everybody. So the Fiora also coming out.
Blind Fiora, hello?
Yeah.
What have we just done?
You know, this is a melee vein, in other words.
I just don't understand blinding it. I'm fine with Fiora picks. I don't understand blind Fiora picks.
Yeah.
That seems wacky.
And the Olaf does get taken off the board along with the Scion, so the Scion also did get banned. Shrek is going to have to find another comfort pick up there in the top lane, and a Malphite being banned. This looks like a volley game. To be honest, Shrek is really good at volley. Don't know how it really plays into Fiora, though. Yeah, not into Fiora, though.
I mean, you could go volley and just kind of accept that you lose lane.
Yeah,
I don't think that's where volley excels.
No, I don't. And also, I don't want a 3-0 Fiora running around the map as well. So
Trundle coming out as well. A lot of picks that are normally counter picks.
Oh,
don't really appear to be. I like this pick. There's a really strong early game jungler. Volibear just runs the map. He can get in lanes a lot earlier than Shyvana. I like this.
Yeah.
The last 2 games, Usurper hasn't been able to do anything while Skelly has either scaled for free or had an impact. This game, Skelly's going to try and scale. You just need to gank. You're not going to scale as well as him. Get in the lanes.
And the Shin being picked for GG in the top lane, or Shrek, sorry. And Zeri.
Oh, this Zeri is so disgusting.
I'm not sure how Treestar does on Zeri, though, so this is going to be a very interesting pick if they do decide to go through with it. And it does go through, so gross. I mean, the fun champion has been picked.
Oh, wow. That is a Zeri with a Sona and a Seraphine.
Oh, yeah. It's
Woo!
a lot of CC and a lot of speed coming out for the side of University of North America. How are they going to try to pick it? You got to get one of these mid laners. Obviously, you can see them hovering a lot of those lockdown champions. I do like the Vygar pick. Managing to get that cage up, if you can just stop 1 or 2 of them, would make really good progress.
Just make Zeri's life harder. Just put the baby cage up.
Exactly.
Something she can potentially run into.
Yep.
I like it a lot. Reading the comps, I mean, I think the order of drafting was bizarre out of ODU. But I think they've actually walked away with a pretty good comp. I'm pretty happy seeing it. Volibear, super strong early game jungler, really high priority. Fiora, I can never rate a Fiora until I see the player play it, because in some people's hands, she is a terrible champion. In other people's hands, she just 1v9s the game. So not going to pass judgment.
Yeah, I feel like Fiora's also one of those champions that you can go 0-3 in lane and still manage to go like 10-4 at the end of the game.
Yeah,
you just kind of like smash her face into the keyboard, and you'll get a triple kill at least. And Zeri in the mid lane. That is a double enchanter bot lane. So this is something I've never seen, the double enchanter bot lane for like Treestar and Xavier, but I think
it's a thing.
Yes, and I think we did run the Seraphine ADC once. It's just a faded memory now, but Zeri mid lane though.
It's really interesting that the thing that blows my mind isn't the Seraphine Sona bot. That's a thing. That's a cheese lane.
Yeah.
Whatever. Cool.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Cool. But yeah, I know how that works. Zeri mid lane against Vigar. That seems rough.
Mm-hmm. It's something that you do not want to see. I mean, just one cage basically just kind of eliminates her kit.
Exactly.
And she's also pretty squishy, to say the least, as well.
You can't skate away from the primordial burst. You can run as fast as you want. It'll hit you eventually.
Yeah, it will get you. So, just if Vigar gets 100 or so stacks, and it's going to be not real fun, to say the least, for this Zeri. But
I mean, with the way these lane assignments have gone, this is hard to call. There is also the possibility that maybe there's some lane swaps coming in. Maybe
it could be.
River just feels more comfortable on Zeri and he'll go to the bot lane. We don't know. Let's assume that's not happening because it's hard to predict.
Yeah, I agree.
This is crazy. It's hard to predict what's going to happen with that with this composition.
Yeah, no, I was looking through the notes on River, and yeah, no, I don't see anything on him playing ADC at all. So let's just see how it goes. Really, like, I mean, there's really nothing we could do. We just gotta wait for the spectator to get into game, and we'll see how it goes. But overall, I do want to say ODU might have the better draft here, if I'm being honest.
I mean, they've definitely got the easier to predict.
Exactly. Yeah.
No question.
Yeah.
The thing is
we kind of thought. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
How do you fight into this? Because I feel like Shyvana's a little bit immortal in this game. If Shyvana jumps in and you layer the Seraphine ult with her to extend it, I feel like you just kill someone before they have a chance to respond.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the baby cage out of Veigar makes or breaks this game. If there are good E's, if there are good event horizons, we have a game 4. If the event horizons aren't good enough, I get to go to bed.
I like the thought process behind that. Yeah, no, this is...
It is 7 a.m.
It is early for you over there on the other side of the world, so hopefully UoNA could pull it out and just, make it a quick 3-0 for the day, or, a reverse sweep could be at hand, but we do not know until probably the game is over.
Yeah, that typically does give us.
Yeah, that kind of gives us a little bit of hints. So, anything unusual here? Does not look like it. Cleanse obviously on the Zeri, but everything.
I'm curious on the starting items. I want to know if they're going to do the double support item thing.
I don't think they can do that now.
You can. You just share the wave. You share CS. I think if you take. I don't remember the exact numbers. I'm sure someone in chat does, so please don't get angry at me. I think it's if Seraphine takes 3 minions and Sona takes 2, and then at some point they swap.
There's a little bit of math that goes into it.
You never actually trigger the support thing. They haven't done it though, so
I see.
It's just Seraphine farming, which makes total sense. I have no issue with that. Just let Seraphine farm. She does well with gold.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we saw what he was able to do last game, and it does look like, as you can see, the items are on the board. Seraphine is going Dorans with Sona on the Spell Thief's edge. So it looks like maybe another Landry's coming out. So
yeah, I've double Moonstone would be a little bit overkill.
Yeah, I agree.
Maybe that you could make arguments for Sona going Shirelias, which lets Seraphine go Moonstone, but I don't see why you would. just go Ludens. Not Ludens, sorry. Leandries. On the Seraphine, it worked so well in the last game. Just do it again. But it's Riverside that I'm watching, because solo lane Zeri was a thing when she came out, because she was overtuned.
Yeah.
And you just put her in any lane and she won, because Zeri was completely broken. She's copped several nerfs in a row now, and I haven't seen a solo lane Zeri in ages. I'm really interested to see how this works out.
I am too. And how do you think this top lane is going to go? You know, the Shen versus the Fiora. I don't really know. I mean, I feel like the Fiora should be able to just kind of like win that lane. It's Fiora, does the true damage.
Not super early.
But
Shen does a lot of damage.
He does.
And it's an ignite Shen.
Yeah, he is definitely a damage dealer threat. But, you know, I do feel like it's just more like Shen needs to play safe here and just wait for his ult. And Fiora just trying to find a fight here.
Bad decision.
Yeah, pretty bad decision. Not able to get a Q off to even trade a little bit. Gonna go to lane with missing a little bit of health. Only brought one pot to lane.
Yeah, I mean, hardly disastrous, but
yeah, hardly disaster, but something that
can't
probably shouldn't have done.
Yeah, look, the thing that Shen has going for him is he can negate that really deadly 3 auto attack combo that that Fiora can bring with the Spirit's Rest.
Yeah.
Or the Spirit's Refuge, rather. Does get unlucky. Always something fun to track is Vital's RNG. Falcon's got the good Vital early. Got
another good Vital. That is...
Go to the casino, mate.
It's just unfortunate for Shrek here, but he's able to keep it close, though, on these trades. Fiora did manage to bring the biscuits as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, early on, Shen with the grasp, with the pull through of the sword, does just do so much damage with the auto attacks. But he does have to respect this level 2. Well done there by Falcons, getting a nice little poke.
Yep, and at level 2 also does come out here on the bot lane for the Renata Jinx, and it's just not really any damage being dealt. Just kind of backed him off the wave a little bit. Zeri trapped in a cage, just running around in circles, trying to survive.
Yeah, she'll be okay for now. Veigar, no real threat.
Not a threat.
Need to see Volibear going mid though. Volibear, go mid, put a cage around them, and then flash bear slap.
Yep.
Easy kill.
I do agree with that, and honestly, this Renata being very aggressive here early, just trying to, but almost getting taken down at half HP from that root she decided to pull. But honestly,
not working out super well with how much sustain there is in the pot lane.
Yeah,
you can't trade with this lane.
No, not at all. And obviously, Tristar and Xavier are able just to poke him down a little bit more than I think Jinx Renata can. And the stun does go out, but the cleanse does manage to keep her alive a little bit longer. Also, the flash. Yeah.
A lot committed there.
Yeah.
Do they actually lose anything?
I don't.
Lurking in the brush. I think they're okay.
Yeah. I think that is going to be... I mean, the flash cleanse is going to be huge for Zeri. Like, you know, something... Especially when she's been playing up super far. So now she's got to put, respect it a little bit more. Volley's still kind of hovering above her. Wondering what's going to happen there.
Yeah, he's just kind of floating around. I think he might have been waiting to see if maybe there was a Shyvana somewhere. Doesn't have any camps to farm at the moment. He's only got one up. Moving into Shen.
Yeah, Shen needs to be careful here.
He has the ward. I mean, Shen's really hard to gank for Volibear because he can dodge the auto. True,
yeah.
So I feel like just don't go near this. You want your Fiora just to passively win this lane if you can. She doesn't at this point in the game. I think level 6-ish, she can start, threatening all-ins and winning that way.
And it looks like a little bot skirmish coming out once again. Just a little bit of trading. Xavier being taken down to half HP, managing to survive even with the ignite. Yeah, it's just so much sustain down there in the bot lane that it's gonna be almost near impossible to kill either one of them.
And down there. Spirit's Refuge has been used.
Oh,
Shrek, but Usurper really just committed to the side of the wall that he was walking around. This is an easy escape. His E will come back up in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and he does manage to get stunned with the cage, but just dashes right over the wall, and he is out without a scratch.
Doesn't even use the flash.
No.
Completely failed gank. Nothing else to say about it. Usurper didn't think about the fact that he could just walk away. So he did.
Exactly. And now he's gonna manage to push this.
Play around that one.
Ooh. I wouldn't have. I would have just probably let the Fiora back, to be honest. I don't know if Fiora was actually going to back there, but
I mean, she has TP, so
yeah,
delaying it a little bit is kind
oh,
of
and he actually
valuable.
might get a
Ignite
solo kill here. Great play by Shrek. Managed to get the solo kill up there on the top lane. Fiora under tower. Wow, great. I mean, that was beautiful. I mean, I see this lane going a different direction, but that was great.
Yep, it's Ignite. You can't. You have to respect that. Falcon didn't respect it. Thought that he was the big man on campus, but Shen was here to put Fiora back in her place. Looking around the map, Zeri doing very well in this mid lane. Does have a CS lead despite that early gank. Skelly now having a run up to the top side. Grand challenge being used because, of course, Shen was coming in with the teleport. Do they go under the tower? No, not without that Shyvana roll.
And for that, it looks like they are going to be giving up Drake to ODU. And ODU has been red side all 3 times. Is that
They've
normal or okay?
It's side selection, so
gotcha.
they have opted for red side, which
that's
bold
quite interesting. But yeah, it's bold to say the least.
I mean, it gives you the thing about picking red side is it gives you counter pick.
Yeah, yeah.
You can counter pick anyone. Partially because maybe they picked the Veigar being like, hey, that does well into the Seraphine, and then UoNA just did the Lamau, that's not Seraphine mid, which is very hard to read. That's unreadable, to be fair. So I don't know if they made the greatest use of red side, giving, if they're on blue side, they could pick the Seraphine, potentially deny it away from UoNA, but overall, I think they played which side of the draft they're on fine.
Yeah, I do agree. And honestly, I think that they picked the Seraphine first as a flex pick. And then, the ban, because it wasn't banned. So you pick it first, and it was just like, hey, we can play this, bot support or mid, I guess. And then the Veigar got picked to like, hey, let's actually switch those 2 lanes.
And have another go.
Oh, yeah. Gank coming up here on the top lane.
But he dodges the auto attack. Now, Volleybed, no ult. He is flashing forward. This should be the kill regardless. If they go under the tower, another shield. Oh, disaster.
And Shrug does at least manage to trade it out onto the volley before he falls. And Fiora also taking a few tower shots herself.
Yeah, she's not in a position to push into it and get any tower plates. That's, that would have worked out. But the fact that Shed is able to trade 1-for-1 there with the volley bear using his flash,
it's just pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's just not good enough from ODU, I should say. It was great play by Shrek.
Yeah, great play by Shrek. Not worth for ODU. But she is actually managed to get a few tower platings off. She does have the demolish. Gets 2 off before she decides to run back and recall. How far is she going to go, though? She's right into Cove. I don't know if Shrek is going to be chasing. It looks like he is. Passing past the minion wave. Doesn't know where he is, and just a little bit too late. Doesn't land the E either over the wall. Very unfortunate. Yeah. But he was looking for it.
Too late. He was looking for it, but he was a moment too late. So that's an easy back there by Undead. But I never like it if I see a Fiora struggling with lane. This is a champion that is super feast or famine, as we alluded to in the draft.
Yep.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And if you're struggling in lane, I feel like you might be holding your sword wrong.
Yeah. And I do agree. And now that almost everybody is level 6, or everybody is level 6 at this point, so that is a lot of ults down there in the bot lane to be used. A lot of AoE ults, to say the least. You have the stun from the Sona, you got the charm from the Seraphine, the Renata ult, and then the AoE blast from Jinx. It's just a lot of AoE CC
bot lane
in the bot lane. Yeah. Bot lane is...
bot lane.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. Very unfortunate. I saw the Jinx ult go out. It looks like everybody's just kind of, Trey started getting taken down to
they use the
1
Shen
bar
ult.
health. The Shen is here as well. Looks like they're going to take out Renata in the Cove before Trey gets the kill onto Jinx. And that is going to be a solid kill, or solid wipe in the bot lane.
Yeah, really well done. They're using that global out of Shrek. It should allow the trade onto the Rift Herald. In fact, it does. It's already been picked up. They give it over to the Fiora. So they really want to get Falcons back into this game. Not a bad decision, to say the least. But, yeah, giving a kill to the Seraphine, giving tower plates over to the double enchanters.
I mean, the Shin is also 3-1 at this point as well.
Yeah, okay. I didn't want to mention that. That's just getting... eventually you're piling it on.
I mean, it's not looking too hot, but at the same time, you're only down a little over 1K, so... And there's a huge wave also crashing, and Volibear is here as well. Shrek has played this perfectly in order to survive, and he almost does. He manages to glide out of there. The stun does go off. Manages to block an auto attack, but it's just he's gonna have to flash back into tower range, and the tower is going to fall. And now
he's just buying time.
Yeah, he is just
he's
buying
gonna
time.
Die. Yeah.
And giving his team a little bit of extra time without a jungler or a top present.
Yeah, I feel like he could have played that a little bit better. This is hard.
Flashing back into tower was a little weird.
I am very much saying this from I'm not playing the game.
Yeah.
Maybe run down. That tower just wasn't going to defend you. It was on 10 health. Yeah. But hard read to make in the moment. Whatever. Minor mistake. Shrek goes down, but they committed so much to killing him. And whatever. That's an acceptable death.
Yeah. And I also want to say Shrek has lost a lot of CS because of that as well. I mean, you saw the minion wave piling on, and it's just going to continue to keep piling on. He's going to catch very few of these under tower. And it's just... I did not like him burning Flash to get back into the 1 HP tower. It's like one of those, like, if you're going to die, just at least try to save your abilities or save your sums. But he, burnt Flash last second, and then, like, not the greatest play, but
it's okay.
He'll
be okay. He's still very strong. The Stride Breaker completed for Falcons. I'm a little bit out of touch on Fiora builds, as in goes the Seraphine. I'll follow it up with the Crescendo because there was a Zeri coming in from the other side. The Berserk comes out as well. Falcons trying to get this one done, and he'll manage to pick up one. He manages to pick up two, now bearing down onto the Seraphine as he tries to cut down the tree. He will. One more Vital to find. He needs to lunge over. It's going to be the Veigar that picks it up, but now the Dragon is crying. Can she actually do anything? No. No roars here, but now Shen joins the fray. Ninjas normally unseen. This one very visible as he picks up the double, and only Renata will be walking away. Can she actually get away? She can with the rockets.
Wow, what a fight that was. And the Ignite does go off, and he's not going to be able to do anything about it. Shrek picks up a solid down there in the bot lane.
That he does. And I'm sorry for stealing that play-by-play. My instinct
took over. Yeah, that was beautiful. Well done. Well done.
Thank you. But that was the beginnings of such a good play there for ODU. I feel like the start of that goes really, really well. They unfortunately just don't quite complete it, but what they do is get 3 kills on a Fiora.
They do, and obviously that Fiora is, like I said, one of those champions that it doesn't matter really how your landing phase goes, you're still gonna be managed to pick up a few kills later on in the game. So, and Volibear is gonna be chasing down Treestar once again down here in the mid lane, and he's gonna be eliminated by LSS. And
I said the baby cages will decide this game.
Yeah, it really will, and I 100% agree with that. Is if they're able to lock up a few of these, players, then it's nothing you can do.
There really, really isn't, as they will now get their siege on towards the mid lane. It's just going to be a few little pokes. They're not going to take the full tower. And Zeri has arrived to reinforce. Not a huge amount out of River so far this game. It's another patch onto Shrek.
Yeah, Shrek getting caught out there in the jungle is not what you like to see, but Skeleton picking up a kill onto the Veigar, and it looks like River's going to be trying to do a lot more damage, just kind of dashing around, running in circles. Just not enough damage, though, out of the Zeri, unfortunately, which I think is where kind of Zeri lacks. She has a lot of speed, but at the same time, it's just like she doesn't do a lot of damage to begin with.
She needs items.
Exactly.
For sure. It hasn't completed his first item.
No, hasn't completed a mythic yet. That's probably a reason why she was doing no damage. And yeah, it looks like Fiora's gonna be caught out here.
A good W could save her here. Oh, never mind.
She used her W. Shin was there also, but she's managed to get out. Xavier does
she-
not have ult, but here comes the Seraphine. He's going to try to run it
Nowhere to
down.
run. He's
Yeah,
just going
and
to try
there
and
we go.
give the kill to Sonar. Yeah, that was the best option. Just
Yep.
give the kill to the Sonar, the one you care about getting the shutdown the least.
No, the Sona can carry.
Not even a joke.
It is not.
It's going to be huge.
I mean, we saw his Bard earlier. You know, Bard is one of those champions you don't expect to carry, and he was over there picking up kills left and right. So anything can happen. But honestly, this game is looking really even. I mean, only 7K or 700 gold difference between the two teams. Definitely a lot closer than the previous few games that we've seen today. And actually, I think it's the first time today that ODU has hold a gold lead, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, at least outside of the very early game, I think
Yeah.
you're right. They might have held a few in the super early game, but not at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
As they also have positioning lead. This should be them going over, picking up a Herald.
Yeah, and I do want to say that ODU has been really good at these objectives this game as well. I mean, it feels like they're all coordinated on when they want the objectives and who's going to get them. If this actually goes over to the Fiora once again, that might be a little troublesome for UoNA. Fiora's just going to take it, and which she does. She's going to place it immediately in the river for show, I guess. And it looks like just a little bit of trading going over here in the mid lane. Nothing's really happening, but if Char misses, that is going to be a huge ultimate wasted there for this upcoming Drake fight.
But they do still have the crescendo, so they have the second Sonar ult that they can use in the Drake fight. It's hard to approach. Shen, of course, can ult down. No TP currently available for Falcon. He's just going to dive under the tower. Really risky against a Shen. The tower goes down to the Herald, though. A big flash over the wall by Shrek.
And Herald is going to get another hit onto the tower before taken down by Shrek. And Drake is going to be started here for ODU. UoNA is on their way. Who's going to steal? And blue team does take it. UoNA does steal the Drake. A huge berserk does go out. Not doing anything. Volibear does flash out of the pit. LSS trying to clean up the back line. And Zeri trying to chase down the Jinx. It's just not going to happen. The River does finally secure the kill.
Oh, no,
Not
Zeri.
chasing it down, and there we go. The cage and the cleanse, though, actually. Managing to try to pick up another one. It's just no damage being done.
Cleansed in the wrong order there.
Yeah.
He cleansed, then got stunned.
Yeah.
Not perfect by River, but good enough.
And now
As
Shrek is going
Falcon
to try to
wants to
find the kill onto Falcon, but it's just a lot of damage being done from both sides, but Shrek does manage to get the kill.
He does, but loses the tower on the other side. So the base is broken. This Fiora is beginning to do her job of dominating the side lane. This is a good position for ODU. They are in a much stronger position than we've seen in the first two games. They are actually playing a game plan, as Fiora clearly is able to deal with Shrek. He has been able to win fights, maybe not under the tower, not that deep. That was very much a, I'm going to get this tower and I know I'm going to die for it situation. Didn't use the flash or anything. But if he can keep pressuring it in, he can move to the bot lane, he can push those towers down. I think ODU's in a really good spot here.
Oh, yeah. And I do want to say, I think it is this Vigar that is securing this team comp for ODU. Obviously, the cage is like we kept bringing up, but he's also, he scales for free, basically. Like, his Q and whatever, he scales with minions and kills.
Yeah.
So it's really just like he's going to become a threat, and he already has 2 kills on the board. He has Everfrost. He is also running Predator, which is a really strong rune right now. It did get nerfed recently, but it's still really viable on a lot of champions.
It's insane on Vega.
Yeah, it is. It really is crazy on him. But it feels like ODU actually has an identity for once, team comp-wise. So it feels like they know what they need to do with this team comp compared to the last few drafts. And compared to UoNA, I still don't know what they're looking to do. Like, what is their team comp kind of like? What do you think their team comp is oriented towards?
It's 5v5s. It is 100% 5v5s. I definitely wouldn't be counting UoNA out. Like, this is a Zeri comp. They want to play around the Zeri. They want to let the Shyvana do things as well. But Zeri only has one item. He's got to chill out. He's actually picking up a Zeal item second. I'm curious what the Zeri build is on this patch. So obviously Zeri has weird builds.
True.
The Bruiser Zeri has been a thing for a while. Speaking of which,
Yeah,
the Dragon Tier.
And it's
Oh,
just gonna
dear.
get Zeri's just gonna get one shot by the Vygar using the ult, and TP got canceled somehow in the top lane. I'm guessing Shrek down here haunted her or something, but Shrek is gonna be in trouble. Under tower flashes
gets
out,
killed
but
back.
again, yeah, it's just gonna be a trade out down there in the bot lane.
Yeah, I assume, yeah, basic looking at it, that must have been what happened. He must have gone super far forward to interrupt the TP. Dies for it, but gets the kill back. So
Yeah.
Shrek just happy.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can really ask for, but obviously that Zeri just getting locked into the cage and just getting one shot by the Vygar ult is something you do not want to see, especially when your team comp is built around, you know, this Zeri running around in circles.
Exactly, and that's why the Vygar is so strong here.
Mm-hmm. You know, Vygar, like I said, is the reason I think this team comp is doing so well. Able to, you know, you're
straight Rabadons. I respect that.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. You know, he's trying to do as much damage as possible, as early as possible.
I respect the hell out of that.
He's not really on a time limit per se. Like, I don't think UoNA scales that well. Obviously, Vygar has infinite scaling with his passive, so it's not really like you're on a time crunch. But at the same time, it's like you got plenty of time to, you know, make a mistake though, and give the lead right back to UoNA.
Yeah, I don't think the long game super hard favors either team here. It comes down to execution.
Yeah.
Obviously, Veigar just becomes more and more of a threat as he stacks up that unspeakable evil. But Zeri. Need I say more? Zeri also scales. So it really just comes down to, can River dodge the cage?
Yep, then that's really what it comes down to is, you know, the placements from the cage, and if River can just stay away from it. And you're kind of lurking a little late or deep here, and it looks like they are going to try to fight. They're gliding across the wall. Yeah.
He's got his healies to deal with his feelies.
And Fiora wasted the ultimate on Zeri as well, so Fiora has no ult for this upcoming Drake.
It's very true. That big heal circle will not be going up, nor the burst damage of those vitals. All ults available for UoNA. 4 out of 5.
Skelly has already taken stolen one Drake this game. Can he do it again if we do not start it, if UoNA does not start it? All 5 members from both teams are here. Vygar rotating down, or teleporting down. Here comes Vygar. If he can land the cage, and he does circle Shrek, but he's just going to get stunned. And a huge two-man charm from the Seraphine, and a lot of damage is going out from either side. It looks like Skeleton is going to fall next. And then Xavier trying to run around the back line, trying to heal everybody up. Drake has been started. Zeri just not being able to do any damage, dashing over walls, and Jinx is also 1 HP down there. You gotta play this very carefully if you're going to continue to try to fight this. It looks like they are continuing to try to chase after. Zeri just a little bit out of range from her Qs. Not able to hit anything quite yet. Shrek needs to get a taunt off for this Zeri to do anything, but it looks like they are just going to try to take this Drake.
I think you have to just give this up. Shrek will go in with the Spirit's Refuge, but there's the baby cage.
Yeah, and that the cage does go out, and this is where UoNA falls apart. And that was it. An Undead Falcons just lives with 1 HP. Not the greatest fight ever for UoNA, but great fight for ODU.
3 damage away from winning that. I think Jinx was on about 3 HP. I think if they get that first kill onto the Jinx, they win that fight. But they didn't. Jinx survived, got healed up by Renata, and got back in. Yeah,
and it's just super unfortunate for UoNA, or super exciting if you're ODU. I mean, ODU sits at a comfortable 3.6k lead, gold lead at this point, sitting up. You know, you already had the 2 Heralds, and now you have 2 Drakes on top of that as well. Baron is up. It looks like they are going to try to get some vision control in that direction. If not, just I don't know if they're. I don't think they're going to take it this early. I think they can. They do have the Jinx, but I don't think it's really necessary at this point.
It's not safe at the moment.
Yeah,
there's too much vision for both sides around there. You don't want to fight UoNA and Baron. You don't win that. Skeleton still farming up. Not the greatest fight out of him in that last one. Not really able to deliver the damage.
Yeah. And it looks like he is opting for that AD build as well once again.
Yeah,
it feels like it's a little out of UoNA's reach. The taunt does go out here onto the Fiora, but Fiora taking a few tower shots, just not doing any damage, and a charm onto the Volibear. Yeah. Getting a flash out of Renata.
The big thing that we saw in that last fight was the redundancy of CC, and I mean redundancy in the good way. Because there was a Seraphine ult straight into a Sona ult. They locked people up for so long, but they were pixels off locking down the Jinx. If they lock the Jinx down, if they kill the Jinx, they win that fight. So ODU is in a good spot, but I can't count UoNA out. They are a class act, and all they need is one more crit.
Yeah, and that's really what it is. It's just if
Shrek.
Oh yeah, Shrek is gonna be
He's
killed.
dead.
Yeah, it's just under tower, and Skelly's here to try to clean it up. Don't know if it's gonna happen or not. Red Smite does land, and might go down. There we go. Skelly does manage to get the 1-for-1 trade.
It's a great move there by Falcons. There, he picks up a kill. He goes 1-for-1, even gold, but they get a tower in the mid lane for it because they can't do anything with the Shyvana shown on map. Where was this in the first 2 games, ODU?
That's a great question. Now that it feels like they actually have an identity with their comp, it feels like they're actually playing as a team. It's not 5 random people in a solo queue lobby. It feels like it's actually. They know what they're doing this time. They're understanding, what needs to be done, and they're allowing it to happen.
They absolutely are. I've been super impressed with this Veigar. I've been really impressed with this Fiora as well. I was very, very not impressed by Falcons in the first big game. I think he got massively outclassed by Shrek. But I think in this game, he's having a banger. That said, so is Shrek. Don't get me wrong. Both top laners are going nuts.
That is true. Shrek is sitting at a solid 8 kills, and you're sitting at a solid 9. Both have the same deaths and close in assists as well. So both top laners are pretty much performing to the best that they can. I think it's just going to rely on, like we said, I think this bot lane is going to be a small weakness for UoNA, to say the least. It just feels like there's not enough damage going out to, execute the volley in the Fiora. That's a lot of damage you're going to have to output for Zeri. And it's just something that UoNA doesn't have. And yeah, it looks like a collapse on Fiora is going to be happening down here. Is Fiora going to be able to get out of this one? At least trade it out. TP does come in from the Veigar.
And a lot of damage.
Yeah, there's the damage that we were looking for. Struck does get the kill onto Fiora. Veigar just runs away.
About 2 TPs.
And yeah, that was just one TP.
Sorry.
Veigar just TP. Yeah.
I was so confused there for a moment. I was like, who else is coming in? But no, it was just one.
And it looks like they're also going to try to dive this Veigar as well. The charm does land. Shrek. Oh, and the hourglass also does go off, and he's not able to secure a kill. He does actually get the kill onto Skelly before falling himself. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but here comes the volley to try to clean it
with the dark
as well. And volley just using the ultimate, trying to close the gap here on Xavier. And Renata all going berserk, attacking each other, and Xavier taking down super low. But here's the turn that you're looking for if you're UoNA, cleaning up Renata, and now it's just up to volley. And this is what you needed if you're UoNA. A great fight, bring that gold lead back to closer to winnable, and just like that, UoNA's back in the fight.
Yeah, exactly. Gold is brought back to essentially parity. This kind of gold lead at 28 minutes of the game, who cares?
Yeah.
That is dead even.
Yeah.
Soul Point is now claimed for UoNA, but the next dragon is still some time away. The big thing we saw there was Zeri is online. She hasn't got her 3rd item yet. She'll really want that 3rd item. I think that's why we've seen River sort of quiet this game when he's been such a star in the first 2. Is Zeri is just item online. She has to get there. Now that the next dragon is potentially game deciding, she should have that item by the time it spawns.
And I agree. And don't forget, Baron is still on the board. So even if they just get a solid pick on, one of these side laners, it could also be a Baron take if they really wanted to. It is risky still, but Baron is still an option for both teams. And it looks like, and here we go. Zeri and Shrek are going to be going on to the Fiora down there in the bot lane. Not sure what is happening. It looks like they just get away.
She got away.
Yeah, she just got away. Fiora, thanks.
Yeah, I mean, there's not enough lockdown there. They just want to push her back. She is constantly shoving in this bottom lane. Shrek is not able to handle her on their own. which is a really big deal. You just have to be able to make plays around it when they do send the second member down to help out.
And Fiora decided to build Hullbreaker as well. So
Yep.
this, I do also like it as well. Just being a split lane side push threat.
So that is for sure definitely a huge threat. Veigar continues to farm up. Observers, could you do me a favor and just give me a click on Veigar? I want to see how much of that unspeakable evil he's built up.
264.
It's okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
You can actually be higher by now, but he's got 3 items, he's got a Rabadons. He's doing a lot of damage.
Yeah. He is able to one-shot Zeri with his ultimate if he is managed to lock her up.
I don't think we're quite in one shot with just an ult territory. But if he hits the baby cage, he gets a Q. No.
Yeah,
no,
maybe. Yeah.
It doesn't do that. That would be real broken. If he lands the Q as well, then she's
possibly, but I don't know. I saw it happen in the mid lane earlier, and I was just always like, I think Veigar can.
She does have a Titanic Hydra.
True. Yeah, she does.
Undead Falcon takes the tower.
Oh, and here's Skelly to try to save Shrek down here in the bot lane from Undead Falcons. And Falcons is just going to try to run away. Don't know if it's actually going to happen or not. He does not manage to get away. And this could be a Baron's take for ODU, but UoNA
they can't do it, but there's a Shen ult.
Yeah, you do have the Shen ult, but Skelly is down there in the bot side, so there is no smite for UoNA. So it looks like they just decided to back off of it. UoNA is going to take their camps and say thank you very much. Also take a tower, and this is the gold is now dead even. Like, it is actually dead even now. UoNA has climbed back into the game. Zarya is online. They're starting to do damage. They're starting to actually, synergize with each other. And now ODU is forced to play defense at this point.
Ooh, there's some damage coming in.
Yeah,
bye-bye.
That's the one shot that I was talking about. Obviously, it wasn't onto the Zeri, but he's just such a powerful champion. Especially
if you eat a spell rotation from Veigar, you die.
Oh yeah, it's
just long and short.
Mm-hmm. If you get caged one-on-one with Veigar, you can just go ahead and
just take your hands off.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. And now with the Sona dead, they are pinging onto the Baron once again. Of course, the crescendo not being there is a really important piece of follow-up CC absent. But I still don't know if you want to be in a pit against the Seraphine.
Yeah, the Seraphine ult is going to be coming big here, but so is the Renata ult if he's able to counter it, and it doesn't look like what is going to happen. I can't really see. I want to see the Baron's health, but its stun does come out, and a great cage by Vargard. Red team does manage to take the Drake, and I don't even know what's happening. Great Berserk is going to go out. My screen is lagging. Volibear doing a lot of damage. Renata gets a double kill, and that is a semi-ace for ODU.
That was huge. That Renata ult, absolutely massive.
Yeah, that was a great Renata ult. Managing to just
that was the game here.
Yeah, that might be it. They have Baron. They have a wave pushing in as well. It is only the Sona left.
They have a teleport to protect a minion as well.
Yep.
If they need to. Yeah, I think they just win. There's 20 seconds. Yeah, we're going to game 4.
That's it. That is game. Yeah, that's going to be game 4. Very interesting. I don't like the draft. Xavier getting taken down 1 HP. Jinx trying to chase him down, and that is going to be the ace that ODU has been looking for to end the game. There we go.
Okay. That is interesting. Because that was not expected after the first 2 games we watched. The first 2 games were very one-sided.
Yeah, that was very interesting to say the least. Great job by ODU. I mean, they actually looked like they knew what they were doing. Great team comp. They secured everything they needed to do. Great, rotations to objectives. Those 2 early heralds kind of set up the rest of the laning phase. And even like the early Drake, it was just kind of Skelly stole the second Drake, but things happen. But obviously, I think ODU just played it way better than UoNA did, and it was shown. It's shown.
100%. And I mean, well, let's go to our break quickly.
Yeah.
I want to get into the next game. I just want to get straight into the next game. Let's go. Welcome back. It is game 4 as UOD takes on UoNA. My name is Carrick. With me once more is Mink as we rally back onto the breach here in this clash of titans. I'd like to remind you all once again to type !donate in chat or look at the about of the stream. This is all going towards a lovely cause. Please do support it. That means a lot to us and it means a lot to everyone that can benefit. You also will be putting the running for some great prizes, so make sure you do it. There's some really awesome gaming peripherals up for grabs if you go ahead and donate. But of course, the love of charity should be enough for you. But we are into game 4. The bands are rolling in thick and fast. Seraphine is open again. Are we going to get it for a third time?
Yeah, Seraphine has not been banned, and it looks like Renata is going to be picked first. It looks like we actually are.
Pick Renata!
It looks like we are actually switching sides for once as well. But yeah, the first pick Renata, something you don't really want to see, but it does leave the Seraphine on the board for River, or I guess Tree Star at this point, if it's something that we are opting to go for again. It worked in game 2, didn't work in game 3, and it looks like it might work for game 4. So. I don't know. This hopefully this is the mid lane Seraphine again. Hopefully we did not want to see Tree Star on Seraphine ever again. It's not even like he played it poorly. I think it was just like outscaled.
A bit of a confused comp.
Yeah, it was very confusing. It really had no true identity from my point of like POV. But the Bard is also being locked in. So yeah, we're locking in a lot of support champions really early into the game, especially the Bard.
I don't know why you reveal that it's not support Seraphine that early. Just keep that up your sleeve. Lock away, lock Jinx. Just pick Jinx.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of great options on the board still. I mean, obviously, I don't think they're gonna steal the Bard away from you, and you still have another pick as well to pick the Bard before they ban it, if they decide to ban it, which I don't think they banned it last game either. So, really interesting, just early Bard pick. Zeri also and Ari also being picked on the side of ODU.
First time in the series, really strong. Rise now as well. That is the meta of most meta mid lane matchup.
Oh yeah, this is what you like to see. River on Rise is obviously Rise takes a little bit to scale, but he can start doing a lot of damage really fast though. When he starts getting his items, especially in these team fights. But I think Rise is supposed to win that matchup, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean,
it could just be another skill matchup. Like I don't think one champion's better than the other.
I don't think either of them win it. They kind of both just clear waves and try and roam.
Yeah, battle really mages or whatever. Yeah, I can understand that, but
they do. They play a very similar role in team fights. That's where it kind of comes down to execution. The lane's pretty boring. Tanks being banned out in the top lane, as well as that volley bear being denied away as well. Both teams still in need of a jungler.
Yeah, both teams are still in need of a jungler and an ADC. Or no, Zeri's locked in for ODU.
It could be Seraphine bot.
It very well could be. Oh wait,
I like the Amumu. They need their jungler and their top laner here. See where they go. Aatrox would be interesting. Aatrox is one of those champions that he kind of just... I never understand why you pick an Aatrox. He often does well, but I never understand why. Trundle as well. That's a really good pick in my opinion, taking away that tankiness of the Amumu.
Yep.
It's going to be the final pick here. This is going to be revealing. Is it going to be an ADC? Do they go back towards something like the Twitch?
Graves. So another very interesting team comp if this actually does get locked in. The Jace. Okay.
So Seraphine bot.
It is Seraphine bot once again, something that I personally did not want to see happen, but apparently it did get through. So Seraphine Bard bot lane, the Rise right there in the mid lane. Jace and Amumu have yet to switch. So there it goes. Yeah, Jace in the top, Amumu in the jungle. And pretty standard from the side of ODU as well, obviously. But yeah, no, that Trundle jungle is going to kind of do a lot, especially against this Amumu. Being able to take away that tankiness, like you said, and
Yeah.
basically denying his entry into a team fight.
Funnily enough, it's not great against Bard because it gives Bard a piece of terrain to use his stun on.
True.
If he throws up the pillar, you can just chain
Yeah.
people to it.
True.
So I have to keep an eye on that one. Yeah, taking away the tankiness of Amumu is valuable, but I don't think it's game winning in this game. The Seraphine, look, I know obviously we're jaded on it because we just saw it lose in the hands of Traystar, but I think Traystar played fine, honestly.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
It wasn't on him. It wasn't because the Seraphine was bot. It was because the Zeri was mid.
Yeah, I
It was
agree.
just a super silly team comp, super silly lane assignments. I think this is okay. The only issue I have is Seraphine and Jace want to just kind of sit back, wait for the enemy to engage into you. Rise doesn't want to do that though.
Yeah.
Rise wants to find ult plays and deliver himself into the enemy team. So many people are building this tank Rise. If River doesn't build tank Rise and plays back and just goes, hey, if you want to walk into an AP Rise, be my guest. I'll be really happy. But so many Rises are going tank, and so many Rises think they're a frontliner.
Yeah. And a lot of AP also on the side of UoNA as well. I mean, you have the Amumu, the Rise, the Seraphine, and the Bard, all AP. Jace really being the only one that's going to be doing a lot of this AD damage. Well, ODU has a pretty split, honestly. You know, you have the Zeri, Trundle, Aatrox all doing AD. The Ahri obviously does a lot of true damage with the orb on the way back and just AP in general. Being able to land a charm on really any of these champions will be huge, especially in these team fights. So if you just can take one of them out for just a little bit, it'll definitely turn the tides of a team fight. But
yeah, no question. The thing here is you have to start looking at where your damage is coming from.
yeah,
Seraphine does do a surprising amount of damage. Don't get me wrong.
mm-hmm.
Rise, once he's got a few items under his belt, once he's into that mid game, he does a fair bit of damage. That's why I really don't want to see tank Rise, because I think River needs to be a damage source in this game.
I
Of
agree.
course, depending on how top lane goes, Jace can do a lot of damage.
Yep, I agree with all that.
Charm can only hit one of them.
True.
Jace should never get hit by a charm. He should be too far away. Seraphine should be in another postcode from Ahri. That would be impossible. Rise can take a charm though.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. You know, only one charm every 8 seconds is just not enough to actually be super beneficial in a team fight, as long as everybody scales pretty evenly, though. You know, if Jace gets a 4-0 lead while Rise falls behind, then it's like, you know, you charm the Jace, team fight's won. But that's like worst case scenario for either side. The Zeri were not a bot lane. You got the two newest champions going, you know, together in this bot lane. Kind of interested to see how it's going to go.
Enemies in lore as well. Fun fact.
What is it?
They're on. They hate each other in the story.
Oh,
They're on opposite sides. Yeah.
oh,
If you remember Zeri's reveal video where she like beats up a bunch of goons, they're Renata's goons.
interesting.
So,
I did not know that.
yeah. Fun
Oh,
fact.
fun fact. Fun lore fact.
Doesn't actually mean much in the game. Gonna be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't mean much, but it's something that might play into effect. What if they start hating each other mid game, and you know?
Exactly. They've got mean voice lines for each other. It might destroy the morale of the team. You never know. But let's crack it back. It's been 4 games. We're getting a little silly. But we do have this one lined up. I'm just taking a quick squizzy at the runes. I am glad to see the phase rush on the rise. So many rises have tried to be cheeky with runes recently. Going that spell book. I even saw a Conqueror once. Disgusting.
Yeah, I saw the Conqueror as well, and I was like, that does not look right.
Nope, not good. Phase rush, way to go.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, all the items look pretty standard as well. You got the two mages in the mid lane that are just both going corrupting pods. Obviously, they just want to sustain for as long as possible and farm up to get their item spikes. But overall, it looks like it's just going to be a pretty standard, you know, first 5, 6, 7 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it certainly should be. Both teams have not been opting into any silliness.
No.
in the early game. I like that. Don't,
Yeah.
it's just not necessary.
It
Don't,
really
don't risk what is a pretty big prize. You know, that chance to go into that round of 32 on a level 1 coin flip.
Yep. And I do understand that. It looks like Mumu is going to be starting his red side, working his way down. Well, Trundle is going to start his red, working his way up. So we also haven't really seen any early ganks as well. It looks like also not going to opt for a leash. She's going to start Crows, actually, on the Amumu. So
Yeah, I mean, he does have good AoE. I'm not too surprised that he can do this. But Amumu in general, starting on red side, used to be impossible. It used to be you start blue or you uninstall.
Yeah, true, yes. Especially if you start the W as well. You know, that drains your mana down pretty heavily as well. So not having that mana, you know, it depends if he wants to take Krugs as well, which I don't think he will. But he's working his way up there. So yeah, he is working his way up there. He's going to have that W activated, and I'll just see how his mana situation goes.
Yeah, I think he'll be okay. The current jungle items do give you a lot of mana reg. So I think he'll be fine to get this camp and then move over to his blue. He might even... I think there was maybe an opportunity for a cheeky gank. And with Trundle just going buff to buff.
Yeah, he just did a 3 camp clear, and now he's going to be trying to gank this Jason in the top lane, get an early cheese off, but he is going to be warded out, unfortunately. And Amumu's also rotating that direction. It looks like there actually might be a fight up here. I'm not sure. It looks like they are just going to recall. Trundle also trying to ping going into the Crows, but Crows are gone.
Yeah, I mean, he should be able to read what camps are up based on the CS number, because he has seen him. He might try and go over and steal away a blue, because that recall has only just completed.
Yeah, he did stop it halfway through for some reason.
Yeah.
And, it looks like he's not opting to go take a blue, so it looks like he's going to go right to Crows.
He doesn't know that the B got stopped.
Yeah.
Is the thing.
Yeah.
So nothing happens.
Oh, a cheese did try to come out level 3, didn't happen. But outside of that, I think...
Huge crash.
Yeah. Really good crash, and Jason with the poke is just able to keep this Aatrox at bay under tower. You know, basically auto-attacking him every single time he walks up for a minion. And
ooh, good start.
Yeah.
Doesn't quite land though.
Not quite.
Trundle on his way back. He will get warded out again, and off goes Shrek.
Yeah. Great word placements by Shrek, just keeping them there. Understanding where the Trundle is. Trundle still has yet to take his wolves. You know, obviously Amumu's also not doing so hot in CS either, but actually pretty even though on the jungler side CS numbers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing just fine. Both of them. Trundle will be able to clean up the last of his minions. There's still a crab available on the map as well. I think this could be Trundle getting both of those. Rise having a bit of a ward.
Yeah.
He's just poking his head in, getting some vision.
Understand
good fundamentals.
Just trying to understand where everybody is. Hey, there's no one there. I think I'm good for a little bit. Keep this wave pushed in. And Drake is going to be spawning in less than a minute as well.
We're gonna have another look in here from Usurper. He's been very active. The instant flash, good respect.
The charm,
you have to do that, River.
Yep, and the charm misses as well. And flashes out of the Trundle. So.
Was flash traded as well? That was a flash charm that missed.
Oh yeah, that was a flash for a flash.
That's a little bit unacceptable. You should be hitting those charms, but it was off target. It was not fast enough. River was able to react. But that's how it's gonna be. It's just the flash for the flash. Ari as well taking Ignite. I wonder if he's gonna go for the Ludens. There is a caster out there, Nymera, who is a bit of an Ari one trick that dies inside every time professional Aris build Everfrost.
Interesting. But yeah, it looks like there's gonna be a fight up here in the top lane. It looks like both junglers deciding to try to take as much CS as possible, and Shrek getting taken down to only a few bars of health. And it looks like the lane is kind of in Falcon's control right now, but the wave is in front of Shrek's tower, though. So obviously it is going to get pushed in. Jace cannot stay here. It looks like... Oh, and this could be a dive, and he is going to...
He's here.
Yeah, and here comes Skelly, but he does miss the Q. And honestly, it might be traded out. It just does not heal enough.
This
But
could
this
be
is
a double
going to be
kill.
a double kill for Skelly, though.
No, he doesn't chase.
gonna
The
happen.
wings were out for Aatrox,
Yeah.
so there's so much healing.
Yep.
If he doesn't want to chase, he just take the 1-for-1.
Yep. And I would at least probably try to at least hold the wave, but I don't think it's worth it.
It's 10 minutes. It's okay.
Oh yeah, the TP is coming in for Jay, so he's gonna catch it.
He's fine. I mean, in the end, that is sort of a wash for top lane. They both use their flash. They both sort of just come out even. They both got an assist. Very slight gold lead now for Aatrox. Both the junglers picked that up. Trundle's pretty happy with gold. Amumu doesn't need it quite as much. Overall, that top lane play, you can just call that a wash.
Yeah, it felt really not a lot of not worth from really either side. I think is the right thing to say, but let's just act like it never happened. To be honest.
Yeah, it doesn't stick.
But we don't forget about the Ahri flash charm myth.
No,
We don't forget about that.
No. You have to. Mistakes live on in infamy. Good plays.
Exactly.
Everyone forgets quickly. Down on the bottom side, just farming out. They are very even. Renata and Zeri will always have control of this wave, but they can't actually shove it in because, as you can see, Seraphine can't just delete the waves.
Yep. And honestly, matching CS in the bot lane as well. This Seraphine Tree-Star playing it really well. Obviously, he doesn't really need to walk up at all. He could just kind of take the minions from a distance. And Bard there to, give a little bit of health and a little bit of extra poke on top of what Seraphine already has is just... It looks really good for UoNA, even though the wave keeps pushing into their side. It's not like they have a lot of wave control on their part, but overall, it feels like they are winning the lane. It feels like they...
Tiger hidden mummy.
And it looks like Skelly does miss the Q. And a charm onto front to Skelly, but a great ultimate from him. And it looks like he is going to fall with the Ignite being ignited. He survives with 1 HP, and he gets missed from the orb as well. And Shrek picks up a kill under tower, which is the Ahri. And are they going to continue to dive? This is a huge wave. Tower damage being taken onto the Trundle. It looks like Undead Falcon finally does get the kill onto Jace. Falcon is trying to run away. Oh my gosh. The Amumu. Undead is going to be trying to come back onto Skelly. Skelly just overstayed a little bit too long, not understanding where he was. But Undead Falcon picking up another kill, giving his lead to 2-0-1.
Oh, Undead Falcon redeems a catastrophe there for ODU. That was a shocker of a tower dive. It did not work at all. And that was with Skelly missing the Q as well.
And
River, I mean, he's got phase rush.
He does have phase rush, but
he's
going to be a little bit in trouble here, and he's probably going to get solo killed as well. Trundle and Renata all up here, and he's just going to back off, and Rise is going to fall.
Yeah, he's going to be going to the cleanup. There's the big chomp.
Yeah,
Trundle will pick up that kill.
Not looking good for UoNA. Renata roaming all the way up to the top lane while Bard is still... Oh, wait, Drake is being taken, though.
They're getting Drake.
Yeah, they are getting Drake for that. Gold lead is still really close together, only about 200, 300 off. So it's not like it's the end of the world for UoNA, but some of these fights are making it seem that way.
Pinch coming in. Shrek's in trouble. He's dead.
Yep, Shrek is going to be caught out here. The charm does miss, though. He does not have flash, so he's going to be taken down swiftly by LSS.
Yeah, just walking the wrong way. Didn't have a read on where the the enemy team was.
Oh, Rise teleported in.
Trouble. Rise was still up. He
teleported in.
Why?
I just saw it. I saw.
I thought he was just still up there from the previous play. Down on the bottom side, there is a tower dive. They get the charm.
Go ahead, and there we go. Perfect.
Perfect.
They do get killed. And
Ahri
is gonna fall. Ahri dashes over the wall, gets the execute onto Xavier, and the Rise TP kind of threw us off there.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
But it's okay. They are just doing this temporary lane swap. Just to catch tempo. That's good stuff. It's a bit of fundamental macro there. You still sometimes see people screw up.
Trundle is going to be taking Herald here as well.
Yeah.
No one even knowing that they're on it. It's going to be uncontested. No one even within range of it. That's looking good. That's a huge objective, especially when the plates are still up. You know, especially when your laners are basically already abusing some of these other laners.
The question
Wait,
here is if you can actually break a tower with it.
Very well.
And I think the answer might be yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think they will. That's big.
Yeah.
If you don't break a tower with it, Herald is 300 gold. If you
Yeah.
do break a tower with it, it's like 1,000.
Yeah. It's definitely
that's a
worth
lot.
it, and it looks like they're going to try to dive once again. Skelly kind of dancing there, waiting to get the Q off.
Really telegraphed, guys.
Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. And the wave is finally crashing in, trying to hold it just a little bit longer. The Q does miss, but she is going to be stunned under tower and is going to fall to Riversided. And
Yeah, they do it just in time.
Yeah.
A few more seconds, and that goes really, really wrong because of how obvious the play was.
Yeah, and it looks like Falcon is also going to get the red buff and the crows, you know, kind of limiting of what this Amumu is going to be able to grab from his jungle. Probably come into effect later on. But
Yeah, I mean, it's a big Aatrox, no question.
Yeah.
It is a large Aatrox, because once again,
River forced to
River's
flash
not
it
able
out.
to break those chains.
Yeah. Too much speed for the side of UoNA.
Moving forward, can they actually find anything onto Ari? No.
No,
Trundle.
the charm onto the Trundle, and Trundle does fall, and here it comes.
Oh,
The double man
lovely.
ult from Amumu, and it looks like a lot of damage is going to be going out. Great ult from Renata that hits nothing, but Falcon just healing a lot of damage. He doesn't have ult, but the Renata
Oh, he died.
W keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but he is going to fall at the end of the day.
But he made a huge play there.
He
Under
did.
Falcon. That
He did.
Renata roll
Yeah.
did hit 2 of them. It
Oh, it
bought them
did
enough
hit.
time where they weren't able to cast spells to kill the Aatrox, which allowed him to get another Q off and healed him for a huge amount.
Huge.
It kept him alive for so much longer. Really well done there by Falcons. Having another good game. His Fiora was great. His Aatrox is looking good as well. Has the Gore Drinker. He's in a really good position to potentially be an unstoppable beast.
Yeah.
Because who built anti-heal?
And no one's building anti-heal for the side of UoNA.
It's hard to do it. I think
Yeah.
Seraphine can get a Putrefier, but when you're playing Seraphine carry, you feel bad doing that.
Yeah, because it, feels like I'm supposed to be doing the
Feels like support
damage or whatever, so
Yeah.
maybe like
But I think it's
Oblivion
right.
Orb or something. At
I mean,
least.
if he builds Oblivion Orb, he benched.
Yeah.
If you're gonna build anti-heal on
True,
the Seraphine, it
Just
has
build,
to be
yeah,
a
it has,
Putrefier.
yeah. I agree.
Putrefier just
but-
does more damage.
Yeah. I agree.
If Seraphine builds it, it has to be a Putrefier. But the question is, does Seraphine build it?
I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see. But at this late in the game, with no anti-heal on the board against an Aatrox, it's looking a little rough to say the least, and it's
It's
showing.
looking sketchy.
Yeah.
For sure. We could see the Egsies on the Jace as well.
Yeah.
Completely viable. But at the moment, they just can't step up to Falcons. Falcons is... they just have to try and clear the waves out from under him and stack up some dragons. They should be able to get their second soon enough if ODU doesn't have something to say about it.
Looks like Falcon is gonna be trying to proxy this next wave possibly, or just trying to stop the back at least. And double stun. Great stun. Just not able to follow up at all, and a great ultimate as well.
Lovely.
Yeah, and the charm just misses. Not communicating well enough. Not understanding when the Bard ult was gonna land, but they do secure the Drake at the end of the day. But
Yeah, the charm was just
timing.
not necessary because they were just evacuating. It was just to cover their retreat.
Yeah.
So it looks silly, but it's ultimately inconsequential.
Yeah. Even if it did land, I don't think they were going to engage anyway.
No.
But, like, it was just... It looks even more silly when he missed it.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay. It'll be up by the time they actually need it. Seraphine ult, really not that long a cooldown.
Yeah,
maybe it
true.
should be longer. But hey.
I'm already halfway up.
Yeah, exactly. Looking into it, again, it's Falcons that I have my eye on over the side of ODU. He is so strong in the side lanes. He does need to bring himself to bear in team fights, though. Can't just be, he's not Fiora. He has to actually go to team fights in this game. You can't just side lane the whole game. I'd be disappointed to see any of that. For UoNA, I mean, look, we feel like they're further behind than they are. They're really not that far behind.
Yeah,
It's 500 gold is very meh.
Yeah.
Shrek is having a bad game. This Jace is being rendered pretty useless, but you have a 3-0 Seraphine. She has a Ludens. That's a lot of damage. You have a Rise that's scaling pretty freely.
I can't agree more. And then, the Mim is also up. He does have 2 kills, 4 assists. He has a Sunfire as well, and he can do nothing but get tankier. So it's really just going to come down to execution and getting this Jace online as well. If you get this Jace online, doing a little bit more AD damage and just getting that anti-heal for the Aatrox.
Yeah, still curious where that's going to come out. We'll see, as they do continue hitting on towards that tower. They do manage to crack it. More gold into the pockets of UoNA.
Yeah.
Look, again, this is what you have to do. And Shrek knows what his job is. Shrek understands that he can't fight. He just has to hit minions. Just clear the wave out from under him. That's all you can do.
Yep. You cannot fight. You could probably try to poke him, but at the end of the day, you cannot fight this Aatrox. You cannot walk up on him, I should say. And
absolutely can.
And it looks like the second Herald is going to be contested or taken by ODU.
They get this for free.
Yeah,
I mean,
nobody's
this is
gonna
not that big. It's not that big an objective. Second Herald is really not worth fighting over, unless you want the fight regardless, which UoNA certainly does not in that position. Just give it up, whatever. It's just a little bit of tempo. It's really not that big.
And you still have the 2 Drakes. I'm not quite sure when the next one is spawning. It should be within the next probably 2 minutes.
Yeah, about
so if they can just manage to get the soul point and then obviously just get soul, it's better than the Herald, to say the least.
To say the least.
Yeah.
We are a ways away from it. There we go. 147. Thanks for that chat, Skelly.
Yeah,
thanks,
thank
man.
you. It's like they hear us or something.
You were pretty spot on with the 2-minute guess.
Yeah.
And Trade clearing out these waves, continuing to scale up on this Seraphine. Actually hasn't bought an item in a while. Has the Aether Wisp. Curious where he's going. Because he's got the Ludens this game over the Leandres.
I do like how the Bard doesn't have his Mythic up either. Neither does the Renata. He bought the Swifties first. Which is normal. Yeah.
He's the king of the garage sale.
Yep.
He just goes to the bargain bin and goes, I'll take the whole lot.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a Lichbane. Okie dokie.
Ooh. Very interesting.
That is some secret tech that I don't know about.
I guess this has to be QQ tech.
Yeah, this is some tech.
This is something that's hidden deep in the roots of probably the LCK. This is some hidden tech somewhere in some country we don't even know that exists.
I haven't seen this in LCK. I haven't watched a huge amount of LCK this split, I will admit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I haven't seen it there, but it wouldn't surprise me if this is...
Oh, the Bard ult actually saves the tower.
Perfect.
That was a beautiful Bard
Do
ult.
that every time on Bard.
Yeah.
It's such a big thing.
Yeah.
Warping the game. Yep,
then,
changing how the game plays.
Yep. And so rendering that second Herald useless, and Shrek is actually managing to probably do a little bit of damage onto Falcon, but Falcon does decide to ult.
No.
And River also been cut out here. 4 members of ODU chase him down, but the
Subjugate being
used. And
so he can't steal the Moo stats now, as there is a dragon about to come onto the map.
Yeah, Drake
Both teleports up.
Amumu does have smite, and so this could be another Skelly steal. And it looks like they are just going to give it up for now. And the TP is coming in as well. Jace is rotating that way, along with Aatrox.
A lot earlier.
Yeah. And
they're just going to try and turn on the teleport, though. This is not the right call.
Now you're just giving up so much free real estate. And
that was the worst
Sharping charm, but another great Amumu ult going out as well. And this is actually looking in UoNA's favor. Skelly taking down 2. Double kill for the Bard, though. And Shrek does take down Falcon, but...
Hey, Ming. Do you know a really good way to win a fight?
What is it?
Hit 4 people with the Curse of the Sad Mummy.
Yeah, that would do it.
Did.
Yeah,
That's
that
what
would do
Skelly
it.
just did.
Mm-hmm.
He just flashed in and just went, "Nah, your whole team can't move."
Yeah, that was beautiful ults. I think the Seraphine one got like two members, and then the Skelly just got 4. Then they just kind of turned there on the Aatrox and won the fight from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think turning on the teleport was a little bit silly.
It was.
He just had that instant dash, but it worked out.
Yeah.
The Ari just overcommitted a little bit too deep, and then it was a lovely play from Treestar and from Skelly to lock them down, allow the damage to be dealt. Perfect stuff out of you.
And so now not only did we get soul points, we UoNA also got the Baron buff as well. And so now it's in UoNA's favor. They, turned the tides once again, but we saw this happen last game. They were up in gold for just a little bit. They, it's almost exactly what happened. They got the Baron. It looked like it was all in their favor. And then, we still, UoNA still managed to lose it. So let's just have to see what happens here. The soul point is,
early Barons are interesting because that is a Baron of opportunity. They weren't playing around it. They just won a fight and said, "Oh, I guess we get a Baron."
There's a Baron here, yeah.
So of course you take it. The question is, what is your goal with this Baron? Breaking the base seems unreasonable.
Yep.
That's a little bit too far. I think if they need to get this top lane. They need to extend the lane that Falcon is in, and now they're in a really awkward spot where Falcon is still really strong.
Yeah.
But objective bounties are turned on. And this is one thing I hate about objective bounties, because Falcon probably gets a tower, and he gets rewarded with extra gold.
And a 3-man Seraphine Charm does come out. Xavier managed to get out of there, but Trundle just takes him out while in the portal. River trying to run away, Phase Rush activated, and Treestar doing a lot of damage, just not enough though. Shrek being taken down super low here under tower, manages to kick him away. And it looks like he is going to fall on that Falcon. Just still full health, by the way. This is something you do not want to see. Oblivion Orb is bought by the Amumu, though.
What?
I guess when the 4-man ult happens, it can come into play, but I think he was the last option for me.
No, I mean, I don't mind him buying it. I just thought he'd buy a Bramblefest.
Yeah, that's what...
I actually don't hate it. I really don't hate it. I would hate it if he turns it into the Morale. Just leave it as
true, yeah.
But I think it's kind of cool.
Looks like they're also trying to look for this Aatrox. He just used his dash, so he doesn't have it for a little bit. He's going to be caught out here. No flash either, and the Bard ult does not land close, but just a little bit out of reach.
He does just about get away. This is more of the Baron buff ticking down without anything to really show for it. In fact, it is a tower that went over to ODU.
Yeah.
Just before. Exes as well on Jason. Now the anti-heal is coming in thick and fast. They're buying multiple ways to apply it. Good decisions.
Yeah. And going back to the objective bounties that are on the board, ODU has been up the entire game, and they're rewarded the bounties because of one team fight.
Yeah, it's also the dragons. It puts a lot of value on the dragons. That's the big one.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the...
Don't worry, I hate objective bounties.
Yeah, it seems very...
Personally, I like it when I'm punished for winning lane. It's cool. Anyway, I will stop my whinging, but it's been done to death.
The rant has ended.
I have to control myself.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I do agree. Having to push this top lane out even more, giving Falcon he's still he's going to be split pushing the entire game outside of those team fights that he gets dragged into, or they coordinate and say, hey, we're going to team fight here. Make sure you're here. But the Trundle does go out onto the Rise. I'm pretty sure that's what it looks like. And
Rise is tanky. He's got a Fimble, Winter, and a Frozen Heart.
He does.
He's a tanky boy.
But yeah, just getting this Aatrox to push all the way back to his tower, then he's got to push the wave all the way back. Is something that you kind of needed to happen, but because right now he's just super far up on your side, and it's just not something you want to see. Especially one wrong team fight could, you lose your inhibitor.
Yeah, exactly. But we have the dragon spawning within the next minute. Rise ulting in, just getting the team into position. Jace needs to clear one more wave and then be ready to teleport.
It looks like he is going to be walking all the way back to base to get ready.
I think he's just finishing that item. Finishing the Eclipse. It's very late as a handshake does land.
Yep. And the Bard ult does land onto the Trundle, but they're not going to be able to follow up the double charm, though. And this could be it, but the Berserk does go out as well. A lot of damage going out onto this could be it. UoNA is taking this fight. It is Trundle and Aatrox here to try to secure the Drake, and it does go in onto the Trundle first. Aatrox being thrown against the wall, and a huge lot of healing coming out onto the Aatrox. Aatrox managing to probably win this entire fight for him. He's just not going to fall, and this is what you do not want to see. Now Ari's coming in a little bit too late, and it looks like she's going to be eliminated right off the bat. There we go, and Drake is going to be secured for UoNA. But holy,
I mean, he landed some sweet ones.
Yeah.
That is some highlight plays for both teams there. It started off with the lovely Seraphine ult. The Renata ult holds them back from immediately following up. And then Skelly goes in, lands the ult, lands the big Q. Highlight moments
that was
for these players.
Aatrox survived way too long, though.
Well, he did.
he definitely did. With 2 forms of anti-heal on the team, I guess it just isn't enough.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about anti-heal is that you have to buy it before the Aatrox gets bad.
True.
To stop him getting bad. Good job.
Yeah,
get that aggression out.
Yeah, I just smacked my mic.
I've done it plenty of times. Once he's fed, anti-heal only does so much.
Yeah.
He's still going to heal. Anathema's Chains has come out for a Amumu, so I think that one is going straight on Falcon, locking that damage down, trying to get the tenacity up. Tenacity down, I should say. Smart buy. I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well. And it looks like another fight breaking out here on the top side river. Double, triples. Oh my god, so many good ults coming out for UoNA, and this could be another fight, but Aatrox getting some nice crits off. Just Q1, Q2 going off, and Traystar's going to fall here on the back line. I know he manages to get away. Aatrox is not able to lock him down, though, and Xavier might be able to kill the Ari here on the back line. Shrek chasing after him as well. The flash does go out. Shrek does get the kill onto Ari, and River just getting here a little bit too late. Not sure what he was doing the entire team fight. Camera panned away, but it is Aatrox and Zeri left, and it looks like they might
win the fight.
They do win the fight. And it looks like the 2 people with bounties are alive, at least. Zeri, if I'm being honest, I forgot Zeri was in this game.
Yeah, it hasn't been super impactful.
No, Zeri has.
And this is the thing about Zeri, is that, yeah, she's strong. If she gets to like 5 items, maybe it's an insta win.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to navigate against this comp. Like, how do you... She's short range. Yeah, she's quick. But how do you step up to just a Root Prison, a Seraphine, a Bard, and then a Moo? It's really, really hard. It requires massive execution out of Kegamos. And, like, this sounds insulting, but he just hasn't been up to the task. And, I mean, you have to be an incredible player to navigate those things.
Yep. And the magic penetration does get bought for Rise, though, so... hopefully we're going to be able to do a little bit more damage to these, this Trundle and this Aatrox that have both built MR. So, managing to burst them down a little bit early in these team fights would be pretty beneficial. But now it's just Falcons once again just managing to split push and take all these objective bounties for himself. For some reason, they exist. I don't know, but there we go. I mean, now he just has another bounty. He's just going to keep getting stronger.
1v9.
Yeah, he could do it. I mean, he did get some nice, Q1s, Q2s, and Q3s off in that last team fight, taking them all down to low HP. But it's just, I think we had the better positioning on UoNA, so.
I think so.
Oh, and the Bard
in.
does lock down the Renata.
The follow-up. There's a Realm Warp. There's a lovely Seraphine ult.
Yeah, there's the combo they were trying to earlier. Now a little bit of a late TP for Falcon. They're going to try to chase him down. The only person left. Yeah, that was a super late TP. And he's going to be able to dash over the wall. Like, I wonder if they're actually going to be able to lock him down. And there goes the Zeri ult. Does not be able to do anything as he is locked down with the Amumu ult, and the Amumu also does lockdown onto the Ahri, but Ahri uses her ult to get out of there, dashes over the wall, and this might be able to at least be the turret into the base. The charm does not land,
Yeah,
and
they've only got one minion.
yeah, they do have one minion.
Teleport to it. I guess they didn't need to. It was going down.
Yeah.
It was going down anyway. They had another wave. It's fine. They didn't need to do it.
Yeah, and it looks like they are
They
going to
get
try
the
to...
in him.
Toronto looks like he's going to try to look to fight this, but he's going to be taken down instantly. Tristar does all the damage, and yeah, that's it. And it looks like Baron is being pinged. You know, the Nexus, or not Nexus, the inhib was taken, so I'm going to be dealing with those super minions here in a bit. And yeah, this could be a Baron take.
This is looking like a doom scenario for ODU, because what's going to happen is Baron, recall, Elder.
Yep. And but Aatrox is here. He might be able to do something, but Baron is going to be taken before he's able to get there. And the charm does land once again, along with the Bard ult. And it's just going to eliminate Ronaldo right off the bat. And now it's just up to Falcon trying to solo the Skeleton. And Skelly just trying to keep him locked down as they chase everybody else through the jungle. Not sure what's happening down there.
Of the fight.
There we go. And yeah, Aatrox was basically, even though he didn't fall, he was still out of the fight. Leaving the rest of the team to defend for themselves. Because honestly,
yeah, for sure, he's all their goal. He's everything.
He is everything.
If they just zone him out, it's as good as killing him.
Yep, I agree. And the Mim does have ult up, so this could be the final push for UoNA. And the ult does go out. We're just gonna charm the Ahri, or not charm the Ahri. You're gonna lock down the Ahri a little bit longer, and just one more tower is standing in the way between victory. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be game. The Nexus is going to be attacked, but oh, Falcon doing a lot of damage, but he's just not doing enough. And there we go. UoNA does take the victory in the best of 5 series. It took them long enough, but they managed to do it. They managed to do it. There we go.
They take the game, they take the series, they take the prize pool, or at least 70% of it, and they take that berth in the 30.
How much is 70%? Is that 200 each? I think it's 200 each.
It is. Yeah, that's good.
I think it's 200 each. They also get in the top 32 for CLOL as well. They got an entry, you know, just right in there. So that's also really good. Great game by UoNA. Great game by ODU. ODU decided to show up a little bit late. Not gonna lie. You know,
they did show up.
They did show up. They really did. Yeah, they really did show up late, but at least they did show up. But yeah, no, great series, to be honest. Like, that was really fun to watch, really fun to cast, and yeah, I think. Any closing thoughts?
Well, of course, the big thing, of course, is to type !donate in the chat, as we got to remind everyone to do that to support a great cause. It's also in the About section of the stream if you want to get involved in that. If you want to help out, there are great prizes on the line. You know, people have been talking in all of these breaks about what they're doing with that money, how they're putting it to amazing use. So please do support an amazing cause. We'd really appreciate it. I personally, Carrix, would appreciate it as well. I'll kiss you right on the forehead. Mwah. There you go. But that, I think, can do it for us.
Yep. I think that is going to wrap it up for this game. All right, and it does sound like we are going to head out of here, and Josh is actually going to be joining us, I guess, with a few messages. So I think that's going to be it. I have been Meek, co-hosted by Carix. Glad to be here. It was fun to cast with you.
Yeah, 100%. It was good.
Yeah, and I think we're going to head out. Thank you, guys. Peace.